Oh, buddy. What's going on, guys? We've done a lot of EverQuest on this stream, and I've been getting really into doing these quests, and I don't know why. It's almost as if I never knew a lot of these quests existed, or I never realized that how easy it is to get a jump start on levels from doing these quests. But I find it interesting every day that I go and do a little research on trying to figure out, you know, what quests that main cities have to offer and discover a new little gem within the recesses and the confines buried deep in these ZAM posts. So, or ZAM wiki as it were. I guess ZAM is a wiki, I have no idea. So let's go ahead and switch. Yeah, we're just doing the one today. So this time around, I wanted to do dwarves. I was doing a little bit of research on the dwarves. Man, this light is super bright on my face. And I came across some interesting quests that had me kind of scratching my head. And one of them was, there is a quest, there's actually two quests that can net you a +3 int earring with Burning Affliction 1. Now, in most TLPs, you don't actually get focus effects early in vanilla. Focus effects don't exist in vanilla. So they usually don't get released or unlocked till either Kunark or even in some cases... man, this light is super bright. It's like my... I'm going to turn it down just a little bit so it's not bloating out my face with super white light. So we were talking about a +3 int earring. Which in vanilla is not very common. Most of the earrings that you come across usually have mana, and they usually have hit points, but you don't run across stats like that too often. So if you find a quest, especially a level 1 quest, that can net you a +3 earring, even though it's a % chance. And I heard that the +3 earring, at least from what I'm reading, is actually a it's a rare chance. So I just wanted to kind of see. But also on top of that, some of the things about dwarves is that dwarves do have 2 male quests that take you to Kelethin. And Kelethin's kind of on the way to where we need to go anyway for one of these quests. So there's a lot of quest experience to be had playing a dwarf. So I wanted to kind of delve into that and see. I'm not sure where the postmasters are at per se, and I do know that the quest for going to the gnome to Akanon is going to require us to be on a second step of a quest chain. So we're actually going to have to kill stuff first, but I'm going to hold off on killing stuff until after we hit level 2 or after we've done the mail quest a couple times. And then we can go from there just to see how long it would take if we did the mail quest multiple times. It'd probably be like 3 or 4 trips. But it'd be interesting to see like how long it takes. So I'm going to try and fix my camera first, though, because this is bugging me. It's, like, super white, and I don't want it to be super white. It's like the white balance is just crazy right now. Yeah, let me see. I'm going to turn the white balance off and add a little saturation so I don't look so pale. How's that look? Is that better? Oh, that's much better. I don't look so, like, pale. So there's a couple postmaster quests that we can do with the dwarves. The one of the quests that we have to do, the precursor quest, is we do have to kill rats. And it's a vanilla quest. I guess there's rats in the mine. And it also, the quest requires us to be amiable with the Rogues Guild. So I might as well say, well, why don't we just make a rogue? Even though I'm not too keen on making rogues. And there's a series of quests you can do, turn-ins you can do, what have you, that allows you to get experience or get faction with the Miners Guild, which will, you know, you can easily do the quests then. You don't have to necessarily be a rogue. It's just makes it easier, I guess. Rogues get really a bad rap, especially in the TLPs. Rogues and TLPs don't mix. If you ever try to make a rogue for a TLP, you'll get outclassed by monks, like, easily. So, I mean, there's no real point. All these faces look the same. I like the nose on this one. It's changing the difference. Hair fine, I guess. That's... Ooh. I don't want facial hair. Is the hair color? Oh, that's facial hair color. Let's go for that red look. There we go. The sapphire eyes are really nice. I like that. It's a nice look. So yeah. So let's go take a look real quick. The quest I'm looking at is called the Gnome Take, which requires us to go all the way out into Akanon. So Akanon is going to be kind of a run, because going from Caledon to Akanon require us to go to Gfey, and then it'll require us to go to Elfey, and then it'll require us to go to Steamfont. So it's a little bit of a trek. If we happened to buy a run speed potion or had a sow, it would be much easier. But we're not going to do that. We're definitely not going to do that. So I don't even know when rogues actually get dual wield. Rogue Guildmaster. Let's see if are you the one I have to give this to? Nope. Are you the one I have to give this to? It's like the Rogues Guild. The Rogues Guild in Caledon is just like a bunch of Teamsters, I guess. It's like, yeah, you get yourself some Teamsters. We're gonna sit around and we're gonna sit here and talk about all the stuff we're gonna do. It's fine. Everybody likes it. All right, so these are the actual mines. And oh yeah, there's rats down here. Little rodents and rats and kind of a little hunting area down here. That's interesting. I've never actually been down here before. The amount of times I've been to Caledon. Giant rats, actually higher level. And it's got a little bit of a, design down here, little rodents. It's not too bad, actually. You don't actually have to leave. There's a couple quests. I think there's two, actually, that allow you to turn in the pelts of the rodents. Let's see what this looks like on a map. Yeah, it's just a small little space. And I'm the only one here. I'm on Mangler right now, so... yeah, buddy. Rainstorm Y, worked myself into oblivion tonight. What's up, buddy? I'll keep you entertained. I'll be the voice in the background for you. I'm just doing some quests and just trying to figure out how it feels to play a dwarf, I guess. I don't know. And I don't know what this thing is either. It's like a little pagoda. Was it like a drill at one point? Or I don't know. It doesn't really serve a purpose. So let's take a look at that Postmaster quest. There's two. Postmaster EQ. There's two Postmaster quests that we can do. There's one actually in Caledon. Caledon to Kelethan. So this is going to be... It doesn't... Oh, it's in South Caledon. So where are we? We're in North, right? No, yeah, we're in North. So South Caledon is like right over here. So it's not a big deal. We can start running too. And we got to find Keelam or Singer. Now, she gives us a letter. I don't know if you can do two letter quests at once, but we're going to try. I don't know if the... Hey, what's going on, Cookie? I don't know if you can carry two letters at once, but we're going to try. And if we can't, well, that kind of sucks. But if we can, ooh, that's going to be big money. So now, we did establish that the Akanon... This is not where we want to be. The Akanon quest netted us about 9 gold to deliver the message. So that's been the best so far. Big money, no whammy. That's been the best money so far. So like when I made my druid, level 1 druid, I was actually grinding the letter quest just over and over and over and over to the point that I was just really doing it for money and less about. Gonna go watch my fave streamer, you dude. Nice, man. Didn't know I was your favorite streamer. It's all good, buddy. I'm surprised you're not actually playing your box character if you're like making a box for Aerodune or something. Of course, Aerodune right now has a nasty 1 hour wait for getting into EverQuest right now. I also noticed that CoCarnage is streaming EverQuest this very moment, and he looks like he's on a TLP, and he looks like he's actually playing like I think he's playing Aerodune, but who knows. All right, so Orsinger. We want to go to Kelethin, so we say Kelethin, he gives us Kelethin. Actually, the dwarf starting area, for the rogues especially, is actually in front of the bank. So that's kind of convenient. He's mine too. Aw, you guys are so sweet. You're the best. You're the best guys ever. Making me feel so good about myself. It's a piece of cake to bake a pretty cake. What? The best. Best soundbite ever. Oh, there's an infected rat. Holy shit, that thing is like... Oh, Exterminator killed it. Alright. He died. He died! Yeah, it looks like there's little rodents, and I don't know if that's been because of the... in Plains of Power, I think it was. It was either Plains of Power or Yakisha. They added rodents and exterminators in the exterminator quest, which I'm trying to avoid doing because they're not a part of Classic. So I think these rodents actually are not good. They're a part of the exterminator quest. So what we need to kill down there is the giant rats. The rodents are just something a part of a different. It's part of a different era. So. I gotta say, I'm actually digging the peace and quiet for no background music. I thought it would feel pretty empty, but it doesn't. I have background music going in my ears, but I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but I'm just not going to turn it up. If I turn it up really loud, it will get muted on the VOD, so I've just been keeping it low just for my own edification delight. If it's in the background, well, if you hear it, my voice will kind of boil over it. I could technically also, like, have the video game music going. But I don't ever listen to the EverQuest music, so it's just not a thing. Especially since they redid it, so I like the old way of how it used to sound, not the new way of how it sounds now, so. The classic feels. You gotta like the classics. The classics. So this is going to be a lot of running around. We're actually bound out here. I don't know if I should have said something to somebody else. All right, so there's another... I got to see where the other... Yeah, I think this is where the other person is. So let me double check. So from Butcher Block to Kelethin. Nope, that's not her. It's Siltria Marwind. Well, who's this person then? Haunted chessboard. Savril Chanklesong. Who the hell are you? Savril... Oh, no. No? Yeah, Savril Tranquil Song. EQ. Alright, this is probably for a different quest. Savril Tranquil Song. Not even a bard. The Curse Begins. Okay, he's for a completely different quest. What quest is he for? It almost seems like he's for an epic. He's got a lot of weird items for a... Oh no, he's dragons. Okay, never mind. Yeah, we don't care about dragons. Dragons era, as it were. Alright, so there's somebody in Butcher Block. And I just got to see where they're at this point. Let's see if we can do a search. So we're looking for Siltria. Oh, there she is. Okay. She's at the docks. Okay. That kind of sucks because that's completely a different direction than we actually need to go. So that doesn't really help us. But just for the sake of science, we're gonna stop by. We're gonna stop by and see if we can actually get a letter from her. I don't know if we'll have much success though. Let me double check this letter. Okay, so this is a bardic letter. It's specifically labeled as a lore item. It's specifically headed with Kelethin, so we may have a problem here. I can't die either, because if I die, the letter will disappear. Who knows? Who knows why? But if we can get 2 letters, that would be interesting. Incidentally, if you were to play, say, a good magician or something, from a human magician, rather, you could start in Freeport. You could boat over easily to Butcher Block, grab that quest right there because you'll be on the docks anyway, run to Caladim real quick, go into the pub, grab the other letter quest, and then just keep hauling buns over. There might even be another Freeport quest that you could do for another letter, but let's see. That would be an interesting thing to try also, is like how many friggin' letters could you have on your person to do for Kelethin? Because, you know, if you like turning in like 5 or 6 letters, like Jesus, you know, 5 or 6 letters would net you 84% experience and whatever money that is included with that. So that would be kind of an interesting and fast way to get money and experience. But yeah, but on like a P99 server, unfortunately, I don't think the mail quest exists at all. It's almost out of it. It's pretty much not really a part of classic era. So damn, if you could do that, that would be awesome. Yeah, I know, right? Like, I'm all about like seeing how fast I can get to level 2. You know, if I can get to level 2 really quick, that would be like insane. You know, not have to do any work or nothing. All right, so here we have another person. So I'm gonna say Kelethin. She's gonna give me a letter. Oh, she gave me a letter. Okay. It's gonna go to the same person anyway. So we got 2 letters now. We got 2 letters, and technically it says it's lore, but they're the same exact letter, I guess. I don't know. That's weird. They look like the same letter, but you know what? In the coding of the actual game, though, I bet you these items have a different ID, so that they don't actually come in as a like a lore item to you, because even though they're both the same name, this ID of this item is probably different from this ID of this item. Because, I mean, it's all just one big giant item database. And the item database isn't based off of the name of the item. There's an item ID or some type of, like, primary key that's associated with it. So that's kind of cool. 2 different items. That's going to give us 2 turn-ins for the Kelethin. We could technically stop by. Let's not get attacked by this whelp. He's probably... Okay. We could technically stop by Felwith, grab that letter, and go turn that in as well. But then that would be it. There's no other places to go after that. So why don't we do that too, since Felwith is not really on the way, but would be kind of fun just to grab that letter as well and to turn that in. But in vanilla, like not even vanilla, dwarves can't be a whole lot of things. From what I remember, dwarves can only be 4 different classes, and it was essentially warriors, rogues, which almost everybody can be a warrior, and almost everybody can be a rogue. It's kind of like in WoW, where in WoW, everything can practically be a warrior, and everything can practically be a rogue. Clerics, it's got a small little group there, so only certain things could be a cleric. And paladins. And that's very restricted. Like, not everything can be a paladin. So, like, my favorite paladins is typically like a dwarf paladin, because, I mean, it's a dwarf. You can be a dwarf paladin. It's fine. But yeah, dwarf paladins tend to be pretty fun. They're pretty sturdy and pretty hardy. Like, I mean, even the stats for my rogue, I mean, 115 strength and 105 dex. I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad for a starting character, so. You want to be a dwarf SK? I mean, you can if you have the illusion for it. I personally would like to be a dwarf SK too, but dwarves are... the thing is about dwarves is dwarves are a good race. Which, I mean, ironically, like, gnomes, I guess, are a neutral race because they can be necromancers and they can also be shadow knights. At some point, they can be shadow knights. So the closest you can get as a minion of, was it Brels, is that you have to be a gnome. Can't be a dwarf. But you could technically have a guild of dwarves and gnomes, right? You just wouldn't have any druids, but you'd have wizards. Could you imagine that? Just a guild of dwarves, gnomes, and halflings? Then you could have you could have druids. You would have the warriors covered. If it was the proper area, you would have SKs covered. You'd have all the casters, because the gnomes can be all the casters. You wouldn't have shamans, so that would be very painful. You couldn't slow anything unless you had an enchanter. You would not have... No, you'd have rogues. You'd definitely have rogues. You'd have rangers. If it was the proper era, the halflings could be rangers. You'd have berserkers. You would not have beast lords, but you're not really missing out from not having a beast lord. No beast lords then. And I think that's it. I mean, healer-wise, you have most of the healers, just no good slow. Caster-wise, you have all the casters. Hybrid-wise, you have all the hybrids. Minus the Beast Lord. You'd have no monks. Okay, so no monks would be very painful. You'd have to do all your DPS with rogues. And you'd have all three races as rogues. But you'd have nobody pulling because the only Feign Deathers you would have would be SKs. So I guess you'd have SKs, you know. Oh, that guy's dubious. Okay. You'd have SKs that would be going around, you know. Oh, there's an ogre coming away. See this ogre here? Yeah, he's KOS. Yeah, I gotta get off the road here. He'll punch me in the face. He's very scary. His name is Kerflunk. He done punched me in the face and I would get murdered. Well, shit. Save me, guard. Can you save me, guard? Are you gonna save me? Yeah, look at that. Guard saved me. Nice. So I will not die today. I live to see another day. But yeah, that would be a very painful guild not having monks. Seeing that monks are your primary support for DPS. I mean, you could get away with rogues, I guess, but it's not advisable. It's definitely not advisable. That's a lot of letters. I don't know if there's nothing else around. The only other one would be Steam Font. I'm not running all the way to Steam Font to grab its letter. I could technically grab the letter if and after I got if I was doing a chain of the gnome get. It's like the gnome, what is it? The gnome loot, the gnome get, the gnome take. There's a quest called the gnome take, and that's kind of what I'm trying to work myself into right now. Is there's a quest. This is what I was describing earlier. There's a quest called the Gnome Take. And the Gnome Take is essentially a quest where it starts in Caladim. They give you a key. You run over to Akanon. And you basically search the scrubbers. And you just tell the scrubbers a number, 628. It's basically the Miners Guild number. And they'll make a noise and they'll give you something back if it's the right one or something, or if it makes a specific noise. And then you give it the key, and then you take the take out, basically the booty or the loot. And you take that and you take it back to the dwarves in the miners' camp, which basically would be just sacrifice yourself, because, I mean, you probably want to do this when you're not cap level. You probably still want to do it when you're, like, below level 6. And it'll net you an item, and there's two different styles of items it'll give you, because there's such thing as a good take and a bad take. Okay, so all right, So if we get the bad take, there's no chance of getting the earring. None whatsoever. If we get a good take, however, we have a chance of getting the earring. And the earring is interesting because it's essentially a free 3-int earring. It's not lore, so you can get 2 of them. And you can really outfit or twink a character with 6-int in Classic, which is actually really nice. That's a really nice find. I just don't know how bad the RNG is for something like that. Now, with this quest in particular, that RNG is pretty bad. I mean, you're looking at the possibility of having a good take or a bad take. And then if you get the bad take, there's no chance. If you get a good take, there is a part of a chance. So you're basically left with, okay, I got to get good takes all the time. And then even then, am I going to get the actual item that I want out of this quest? And I don't know if it's going to net us the proper RNG for that. So alternatively, there is another quest. And I don't know what the RNG on the other quest is either, because it only has 3 different items that you get out of it. But it requires you to get a torn dress. And the torn dress, I was looking and researching it, and apparently you have to either go to the Quanos sewers and kill a gelatinous cube for it, which I was like, okay, it's a named gelatinous cube. How often does that thing spawn? My assumption is once every 6 to 10 to 12 to 18 minutes. Or it has placeholders, one of the two. So not very... Oh shit, there's a pawn on me. Not very advantageous on that one. But I also discovered that for whatever reason, and I don't know why, and I don't know if it's true, it might not be true, it might be just an error in the actual database, but according to Zam, there is a bone chips quest that you can do with dwarves. So every major race or whatever has a bone chips quest in their priest hall, right? So you basically turn in bone chips, those bone chips become items or becomes things, and you get experience for it. Great. Well, one of the things you can get out of that bone chips turn in is going to be actually the torn dress. And I was like, well, wait a minute, that can't be true. So we'll have to test that as well. I'm going to farm up some bone chips. You guys will see how you can farm up bone chips really quick. And then after I farm up the bone chips, then I'm going to do some turn-ins just to see, can you actually get this item from doing this bone chips quest? Because if you can actually get the torn dress from doing the bone chips, that's going to be probably the easiest way and probably the farmiest way that you can do it, to where you can get more and more chances of trying to get that +3 earring. I do know that on TLPs, actually selling bone chips is very popular. And I don't know if it's because people buy the bone chips to level up their characters, which makes no sense whatsoever, because it's easier just to do the red wine quest. Even if you have multiple boxes, or just working with your friends to do invises, or even just buying a 10 platinum invis pot. I mean, there's not a whole lot that goes into it to get that experience. Are you guys KOS to me? No, they're just apprehensive. But like even when we were doing the Dark Elf run, the Dark Elf run, we essentially leveraged the red wine quest to get to level 2 after we did the turn in for the what is it, I can't remember what the item was. It was basically like worm meal or whatever that you give to the troll, and he essentially gives you 2 to 4 platinum, which you can do at level 1. You get that platinum turn in, level 1, you get 2 to 4 platinum. You take 3 of those platinum, if you get the 3 or 4 platinum. And, okay, another Kelethin. All right, and another letter. Perfect. So we got 3 letters now. Turn it in, and then once you just kill yourself, because you have to go to the Ocean of Tears, and that's never fun. Kill yourself, head back. When you head back, then you go down to the 3rd gate, buy, whatever 3 platinum worth of red wine is going to get you. It's usually around 40, a stack of 40. And then you turn that in, bam, you're level 2. It's a very easy way to get to level 2 as long as you are a Dark Elf who is agnostic. So you can't do it as an Innerrook Dark Elf, primarily because the Freeport will kill you on sight, unless you have somebody that will invis you. If you have somebody that will invis you, it's easy. If you don't have anybody that will invis you, though, you can't do it, because it's too hard to navigate through the guards unless you can sneak and invis. So maybe if you did it as a rogue, but then rogues could be agnostic, so why don't you just be agnostic on the rogue? That's usually my recommendation, because the faction for religion plays a huge role in a lot of the areas you go into, both good and bad. You know, because if you're agnostic, some religions like Innerrook, for example, they look at you dubiously for most things, and you're on a very thin wire as far as with, you know, don't mess with their shit, because, you know, if you lose just a little bit of faction from, you know, their sect, you know, they may become KOS to you. You know, I had a Shadow Knight. I have a shaman. So I made Brogoth. He's a ogre shaman who worships Rallo Zek because he has to. I mean, shamans have to worship a deity. And I took him all the way to Neriak. I ran all the way to Neriak. It was quite a long run. So from Ferrat even to Neriak, very long run, very crazy. And I went to Neriak. I was like, okay, I made it to Neriak. Great, this is awesome. So in Neriak, you know, I was, you know, moving on. Was going to do the red wine quest. So I, you know, got down to the third quarter or the third gate, and sure enough, I ran into. It was actually one of the Indigo Brothers, which is it's the Shadow Knight Guild, and they apparently do not like Rallo's sect. So what did he do? He KOS'd me and killed me. And I forgot to bind, so then I popped right back into Ferrat again and had to make the run all over again, and it was not fun. So it's essentially, you know, religion can play a major role, especially if you have, you know, warring or, you know, not so friendly religions clashing against one another. So, but that's one of the things about EverQuest is like the whole faction schema, and it plays a major role in vanilla. But after you get out of vanilla and you start to move further and further away, like once you reach like the Luckland period, like faction becomes just kind of meh. You know, it doesn't really play a major role. Like Ixars, for example. You know, we're all familiar with Ixars, right? You know, lizard people, everybody hates them. Kazakh Thul worshippers. And, you know, in Kunark, and them trying to travel around the world, you know, in Atonica or Otis or Fedor, they really can't. Like, there is nobody who likes them. It is a very tough time to play an Ixar. So let's go ahead and see. I wonder if I can get them all three to them at the time. Actually, no, I'm going to do it individually. So the first letter is from Kaladin. Oh, that's 6 gold. Okay. 6 gold, and that netted us about 18%, really? Can't be that high. The second one is from the docks, okay? So the docks nets us a 3 gold, but another 18%, so we're already at 36%. You know, we haven't done anything yet. And then this one, of course, is from Felwith, right? So this one's only a 3 gold. No, that was a 6 gold. So that one was probably... that 6 golder right there was more than likely from either Kaladin or from the docks, because the 3 gold one is from Felwith. I know that one for a fact. So we did the 1 mail quest. We're already at 15 gold pieces, which is 1.5 plat. It's enough to buy spells, right? And we're already at 53%. 53% experience. So if we actually did this again, we would already be level 2. And all we done is just doing the normal mail quest. That's all we did. Right? That's all we did. So I'm gonna go ahead and murder myself. It's just gonna spawn me all the way back in Butcher Block, which is fine. That's where we want to be. And if we do this quest again, we're pretty much guaranteed a level 2, which I want to be level 2 at this point, just so I can get started on making my way to Akanon. Wow, ports me on the hill here? That's weird. Oh, I'm getting more experience because I got a bonus. So it's actually 14%. Yeah, because we're getting a 25% bonus right now. So if it's 14.5%, times that by 3, what is that, 42%? 25% of 42% would be another 11%. So yeah, we're getting a quest bonus turn in for these actual turn-ins, which is actually interesting because I didn't think the bonus actually applied to the quest turn-ins, but apparently it does. So in theory, though, if we didn't have an EXP bonus right now, it would require us to do this chain quest probably 2.5 times. So this guy again, he's actually right here in the open, which is actually pretty handy. Can you say Kelethan? Oh, he gave me the letter already. Ha. So really easy leveling then. So Dwarf's not too bad. You have a lot of quests. You have a lot of Postmaster quests right off the bat to work with, where you don't have to sit there and, you know, compete or grind. And once you do all of these mail turn-ins, at second level, they actually become like 5% experience, which is not as good, mind you. It's not as good. But if you're doing 3 of them at a time, you know, that's 15%. And it's giving you 1.5 platinum each time you do it, which is actually really good. You know, most of the other races that I was playing, you know, you can only do one of the mail quests. But the best mail quest has been from Steamfont, just because it nets you almost 1 platinum in money. And it's still only 14.5% for experience. But still, that's if you do it enough, you're going to be like twinking out your own characters just by grinding one single quest, right? You know, that's what I ended up doing with my druid, and just for fun, you know, because, you know, what better do I have to do in life? And I was basically grinding out the Steamfont over and over and over and over. And I could probably have done the Steamfont and the Felwith one at the same time. I just didn't think to do it, just because I think it was because I was on Eridune. And Eridune right now is extremely laggy when you try to do stuff like that. So I was trying to really avoid, you know, trying to do too much zoning. But in theory, you could, as a gnome or as any, you know, any wood elf race, you could just go around the frickin' Feydewer and actually do them all if you really wanted to. But it would be a lot of running. I mean, if you started in Steamfont, grab the one in Steamfont, you know, it would take you to Lesser Fey, which then pretty much immediately takes you to G Fey. But then you're going to be traveling through G Fey all the way into into Butcher Block. And then Butcher Block, you're going to have to run all the way to the Caladim, and then you have to run the docks, and then you have to run back. I mean, if you could kill yourself and pop back in a position or a location, that would be ideal. But if you die with the letters, you lose the letters, and I think that was intentional. They're designed to be temporary, though temporary items don't leave you when you die. So I find that to be kind of weird. No, actually, I think the temporary items do leave you when you die. I don't know. But these temporary items in particular, they leave you when you die. So you can't pick up all the letters and then just go kill yourself. That doesn't work that way. But once we hit level 2, what's going to happen after that is we're going to go and we're going to finish one of the precursor quests for the Miners Guild, just so we can move on to the next quest, which is going to be the quest that we're going to look at to try and get the Int +3 item for earrings. So this is the other one, and we just have to say Kelethan. She gives us a letter. Yeah, I wish there was an easy way. The location with the translocation here doesn't really make it easy for us. There's no faster way around. I don't want to get... if we cut through here, actually... As long as we don't run into things that'll aggro on us. But if we cut through here and not die, this is going to cut out pretty much most of the Caladim run. So this isn't too bad. This doesn't seem optimized for time, though. Hey, what's going on, Mark? How you doing, buddy? Here comes your foe. We're just doing dwarf runs right now. Dwarfs, incidentally, have like 3 postmaster quests they can do, so I'm taking advantage of that right now. It's going to net us about 1 level because we have 25% experience bonus. And it's going to also net us some money, about 3 platinums worth. Oh, boy. Claudio Zorgo. I like that name. Nice name, dude. Thanks for the follow, man. I much appreciated. My music just decided to stop. It just got tired of your shit. I'm going to switch the song, though. But hopefully you are a avid EverQuest fan. Oh, who's this guy? I don't know who this guy... Oh, my shit's all scrolled up. Oh, he's dubious anyway. He's probably just a dwarven bandit. But yeah, I do a lot of EverQuest streams. I do some research. I do 3-boxing. I 3-box on Mangler. I also play on Eridune. I'm very heavily invested in TLPs. But I understand why people play P99. I wouldn't have any objections to actually playing P99, seeing that it's also free. But I like some of the quality of life that goes along with playing on... Ooh, another Wandering Greenblood. The quality of life that goes along with the TLPs. That's the primary reason why I don't play on P99. But I can understand why people play P99. And I would be interested in actually researching the quests there as well and how much experience they give, because they probably did not nerf the TLP... they probably did not nerf the earlier quests for leveling up characters, which is kind of like a part of EverQuest. It's part of the game, you know, and Darkpaw pretty much gutted most of the EXP quests in this game, you know, where you get scalps, you get belts, you get ears, all of those little turn-in quests that kind of help supplement having to kill more mobs, to where, you know, it's like, oh, hey, you know, I was sitting here and I killed... Ooh, there's an orc runner right now. Oh, it's just a pawn. Never mind. That must be a placeholder. The orc runner actually is another quest. I think it takes place in... it's a quest that takes place, I want to say, in Kelithan. But we're not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But yeah, but a lot of the stuff I remember when I was first leveling my druid was that there were quests that you could do to help supplement killing things, where you get these scalps off of these orcs, or you get these ears off of these goblins, you know. That was like High Hold Pass, right? And you collect these, and then, like, after you're done, you know, group leveling or whatever, you essentially just go and turn those in to hopefully kind of bump you over the level and be like, oh, hey, I level, you know, 25 or whatever. You know, that's what those quests are really designed for. And I tested them out on the TLPs. They're horrible. They're so bad. The EXP on those quests got gutted so hard that there is no sense in even doing... There's no reason or rhyme or anything to really do those quests. They're pointless. To give you an example, so when you're in High Hold Pass or High Hold Keep, because there's 2 different zones, the goblins for Pick Claws are actually in High Hold Keep, right? And you kill them, you get their ears, you can turn in their ears, and you get more experience. Kind of cool. It was a neat little thing. And the Pick Claws are actually that's what's in Runny Eye, is the Pick Claws. I never knew that, because I never go to Runny Eye. God forbid, you know, I go to an actual zone and level somewhere. But I never been on Runny Eye, and I noticed that when I was running through Runny Eye, like, all the goblins weren't attacking me. I was like, why are the goblins not attacking me? And it turns out that I actually had faction with them. And I was like, oh, these are the Pick Claws. The Pick Claws, for whatever reason, have faction with some player characters. I don't know if you have to be evil or you have to be good or whatever. But, like, I think my Dark Elf was, like, apprehensive to him. So... But the same Pick Claws are actually they've actually burrowed, probably from Runny Eye, into High Hold Pass. I think it would be kind of cool if you could go from High Hold Pass or High Hold Keep into Runny Eye. I don't think you can. That's not a thing. But I would have been kind of neat if, like, you were hunting in the High Hold Pass and you found, like, a hidden wall and it took you all the way into Runny Eye. It'd be like, oh, hey, look, you can get a Runny Eye from here. And then that could net you into getting into Misty Thicket, which then you can get to Rivervale, but then you would completely bypass ever having to go through... well, no, you still have to go through Kithakor if you wanted to get through the Commons. So, I mean, I guess that's still a thing. But I wouldn't want to, like, make a zone completely, like, obsolete. You know, because Kithakor has its own lore, and I remember the horror stories of traveling in Kithakor at night, which was always fun. But anyway, so back to the Goblin Ear Turn-In. So the Goblin Ear Turn-In, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try with a level 1 halfling. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a rogue halfling or something. I don't even know. Oh, good. I didn't have the... she just teleported to Luckland. Luckily, I don't have the stone on me, so I didn't get teleported. But if I had the stone on me, she would have teleported my ass, and I'd be like, well, fuck, now I have to wait 5 minutes just to get back home, or 15 minutes just to get back home. Anyway, Goblin Ear Quest. So I was thinking to myself, you know what? I'm going to farm up some of these Goblin Ears, which are stackable. They weren't originally stackable, that I remember. And I'm going to, I'm going to see how much experience it is for a level 1, if I could really, like, soup up a level 1 to have massive amounts of experience. So I go in. I had to first find the guy to do the turn-in. He, like, moves around like an asshole. So I had to go find the guy first, and then I had to hail him just to keep him still. And then I got some ears, and then I gave the ears to the little halfling. Made sure the two characters weren't grouped. And I handed him the ears, and it netted me, like, every ear was like 0.3% experience. It was horrible. I was like, oh my god, what did they do to this quest? So, I guess it was kind of their way of trying to avoid people twinking characters. But there had to have been a much better way to do that. Like, just put a minimum level requirement on, like, the quest or something. If somebody tries to turn in the ears, like, have a minimum level requirement when they can actually turn in the ears. Because that is a thing. The minimum level requirement just makes it so you can't have the dialogue with the character and they don't accept items from you. If you did that, you didn't have to nerf the quest, and then you could still give the great amount of experience that you could to the characters that are actually trying to level, like, naturally. But nope, they just basically nerfed the experience, destroyed it, and there's basically no point in doing the quest. Now, it could be that they did do something on the TLPs to where level 1s get a much different amount of experience than, like, say, a level 20, where the level 20, may get more experience. I don't know. I didn't test that theory, so... but I will say, though, that if you want to get a level 1 character up in levels really quick, don't do the pick clause. That's not going to do it for you. That is definitely not going to do it for you. I did not test the orc scalps or the gnoll scalps. After I did the goblin ears, I was pretty much I was disenchanted because I pretty much assumed that all of those turn-ins just got basically nerfed. I also tried some of the other, like, we know of the red wine quest, which is actually still really good. I also learned that if you buy 2 stacks of 1,000 red wine, which will be about 140 platinum, will get you a character to level 5, which is not bad. That's 140 platinum for level 5, and you're like, okay, well, how do I get 140 platinum? Well, at level 1, you're not getting 140 platinum. But if you're trying to get a character up in levels as an alt or as a second box, you have your primary box, you level them a little bit first, and then, like, by level 20, you'll probably have 140 plat that you can spare to making your second box character, and then you can actually start playing 2 characters at once, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, I was testing out other wine quests, and Kinos, for example, Kunos, has a brandy quest. And the brandy quest it was right in my path too, as far as with doing my Eurodite runs, because Eurodite runs are the best. They have a really good quest chain that gives them fast experience and gives them a little money to boot. But I tried to do the brandy quest alongside of it, and the brandy quest was horrible. Like, you were getting like 0.01 experience points per brandy turn in. And it was bad. It was to the point that I was just like, okay, this is not worth it. I don't even know why I'm trying to do this. So I skipped doing it completely, and I went back to just doing the I think it's the Urids tonic, but it's the next step of the Urids tonic. And it was also the quest of the Postmaster quest. So it was a real fast level 2. And for Uridites, it's really nice because there's a lot you can do with Uridites at level 2, especially if you're mage, right? Mage, if you're trying to make a bastion on a server, making a mage first is typically the way to go. Mostly because they have a damage shield and they can solo. I've so far soloed a mage to level 22 in the TLP in base vanilla, and have not. I still feel I could probably level even to 30. You know, like it's insane how powerful wizards or mages are, and how well they can solo, just because of that pet. So, but I did most of that in Ocean of Tears. But as a Eurodite, you know, it sucks that you're all the way in Otis. But there is still hope. So you can get to level 8 on Otis. It's not very hard to do. In fact, I did it in one of my runs. I didn't sit here and play to level 8, but I did it on one of my runs to get to level 8 because there is plenty to hunt on Otis. Not many people play Eurodites, but there is plenty to hunt on Otis. This will probably level me. Here we go. So level 2, we got our 30 gold pieces. We don't need to do any more of that, so we'll just kill ourselves. Okay, so back in Kaladin. So once you get level 8, that's when things become important. So, I mean, there's many stages in a mage's life as far as stages in mages. There's many stages in a mage's life as far as with trying to level up. And what those kind of milestones are when leveling up. So, for example, level 2 gives you your pet, and it's a level 5 pet that can murder up to level 6s with your help. So that's important. Being level 2, being able to kill level 6s is really nice. But you don't need to kill level 6s, but it might come up. It might come up if you actually need to kill level 6. But at level 4, you get your next DD spell. It's called Burn. And it does 4 times the amount of damage of your first level spell does. It only costs like twice the amount of mana or something like that. It's like 7 mana for like 4 times the amount of damage. So not bad. At level 5, you get your first Bolt spell. And the Bolt spell does a ton of damage. You could use your Bolt spell to pretty much murder things fast if you have to. But the Bolt spell is really nice also because it has a huge amount of range. I mean, you're talking about 200, I think it's like 200 yards that you can cast this spell. And I was casting this spell left and right, especially when I was playing my Dark Elf Mage in Ocean of Tears, where I was shooting the Bolt spell across islands. It was insane. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I was having a lot of fun doing it. By the time you hit level 8, though, well, level 6, of course, will net you your next pet because your pet is every 4 levels. So at level 2, you get your first wave of pets. You get the water pet, and then level 3 is the fire pet. Level 4 is the air pet. Level 5 is the earth pet. Then level 6, you go start over again at the next tier of pets, which level 6 is your water pet again. So the water pet, I think, is like a level 9. Oh, there's a cleaner here. I didn't realize they had cleaners here, too. Is that... There's a rat patrol. I think it requires you to go to Akanon, though, right? No, yeah, we have to kill Scrubber, not Cleaner. Okay. Alright, so who has this quest? Level 8. I keep getting interrupted by shit. So, level 8 is when you get Invis. So, when you get Invis... The nice thing about having Invis is that you can now travel in areas of things that may be too high level for you that you would be KOS in, or you can travel in areas without the worry of dying, basically. So the nice thing about having that Invis is, especially if you're all the way in Otis, is that you can travel from Otis through Highhold Pass, which has 2 camps in there that kind of cock block you. And then you can get yourself over to the Freeport area. Well, these things are still level 3. Can I kill these? I don't know if I can kill these, but we're going to try. If it kills me, I don't care. I mean, I'm not going to lose experience. Level 3 rats, Jesus. I hit it once. Do I have a bash or anything? I'm just a rogue. I can bind wounds. That's the other thing. Is you get backstab, but man, you can't. It's non-positional. Yeah, he's just gonna kill me. It's fine. I think there's rats. Okay, is there rats? There might be rats out in Butcher Block. I'm gonna check and see. So yeah, once you get invis, you're not really limited to Otis anymore. You can basically take the boat over to Kinos, go through Quinos to the Karanas, and then just run through the Karanas. You're going to be slow. You're going to be slow. I don't know if there's any... Man, all I want is rat pelts. Actually, you know the best place for rat pelts is? It's actually going to be in Freeport. So what we could do is we could probably take the boat, because I'm not seeing any rats out here. So he wants us to get 4 rat pelts. So that's fine. We know where to get rats in abundance that are level 1 and 2. So we're going to go do that real quick in Freeport. It's just going to be a short jaunt to the docks. We're going to translocate over twice. And we will now be in an area that'll have tons of rats that we can murder to our leisure. But yeah, so after level 8, I mean, you're pretty much set to getting out of the area that you're kind of starting in. And the nice thing about being an Eurodite, which I didn't really think about, is, especially in vanilla, is as long as you're a caster, you know, if you're a hybrid, or if you're a, well, they can't be rogues, you can't be warriors, you can only be hybrids. So if you're a hybrid with a Eurodite, you're kind of stuck. It's probably not the best take on to actually make a Shadow Knight or a Paladin as a Eurodite, because you don't have a gate spell. You'd have to use gate potions at that point, and those get pretty pricey. But as a caster, which is most of them, you have the ability eventually to bind yourself, or you can just get soulbound to Freeport, let's say. So you go to Freeport, you bind yourself in Freeport at the Soulbinder. You'll have Origin, because it's a TLP, you get Origin at level 5. So you can clear the entire zone left and from the farthest edges of Otis to Freeport, and basically hunt anywhere. And when you start getting to hole level, you can just Origin to get out, or you can just Origin, say, I'm going to go do the hole, just Origin. I mean, you'll be in that zone, and you'll be set ready to go. So Eurodites actually have a lot of advantages, since most of them are casters. And once you get past that level 8 mark, or have invisibility or something, because, I mean, if you play a class that doesn't have invisibility, it's a little bit harder. You're pretty much stuck having to fight in Kinos all the way through to Hyrule Pass at about level 20. You'd be stuck on that side of the world till level 20, unless you got somebody to port you across to, like, the common lands. Actually, do we have a Freeport quest here? Let me check the postmasters real quick. Caledon, Freeport. Okay. There's a Kelethan to Freeport. There's a Rivervale to Freeport. Nothing else to Freeport, though. Why is there not a there's a Kelethan to Freeport, but there's no Caledon to Freeport? That's weird. Okay, that's neither here nor there. We'll just deal with it. It's fine. But yeah, so, like, I never really gave Eurodites their due, as far as with, you know, why would you play a Eurodite? They have a really, really crappy origin point. Well, if you're not playing a hybrid, it doesn't matter. So, just don't play a hybrid. Play the caster, which they have some of the best casters. Eurodite casters are insane. You know, they start with like 144 int, So it's a really high intelligence, which gives you a whole lot more mana. I mean, starting out, they have 30 hit points and 30 mana, which is insane. Versus like the Dark Elf or the High Elf, which have 30 health and 28 mana. So they'll have more mana to boot. And Erudites have their own special quests. They have a lot of different quests for Erudites, but it's mostly surrounding the clerics and the paladins because they're crazy and they worship Praxis, who is like a crazy motherfucker. I never realized how crazy Praxis was, or the believers of the Praxis faith, and even Erudites, where, you know, committing a crime in Uridan, you know, is basically like, is only punishable by death. You know, that's how they handle all crime. And I guess, I mean, it's like, okay, well, you're not going to have a whole lot of crime then, I guess, because somebody who commits a crime is just going to get murdered. But like that's just something that you encounter when you talk to one of the guards for one of the quests about the heretic bones. You know, it's like, oh yeah, all crimes are punishable by death. It's like, Jesus. It's like, steal a loaf of bread, death. Skimp out on your taxes, death. There's actually like one of the times we're here soon. Sup, fucknuts? What's up, dude? What are you doing there, Wolfie? Guess what I had today? I'm going to make Wolfie jealous today, guys. He's going to be so jelly. I went to work today watching you, Dingus. I'm not really doing anything. I'm not jelly. Yeah, I had some evergreen today. It was so good. It was yummy, yummy in my tummy. We're just talking EverQuest right now, your favorite game in the whole world. Oh, man. A lot of talking. To bring you up to speed, I can't afford shit right now. You still working? Or did you quit your job? You take the buyout? I've been saving my pennies, that's for sure. I'm trying to spend as little as possible. I'm waiting till July. I'm waiting to see how things fall out. Why would I take the buyout? I don't know. To get out of this insanity, because it's super insane right now. Oh, there's poop here. Oh God, glad I didn't step in that. So we're not going to bind ourselves here. So that's a little dangerous. So if we actually get nasty aggro from something, we're going to spawn all the way back in Kaladin. So one of the things we can check, though, interestingly enough, if people actually hunt out here, we've made 3 platinum. So technically, if we've made 3 platinum and people come out here to hunt, they might have sold rat pelts on things. So we can check things like Boomba over here, who doesn't speak to rogues, apparently. Okay. What about the little gnome out here? Maybe he speaks to rogues. You will never believe you're not allowed. I'm not allowed to leave? Man. I can't leave? This person's indifferent. What's this guy? Nope, he doesn't speak to rogues. Jesus, what's these fuckers not speaking to rogues? Alright, so black wolf skin, bat furs. We're looking for 4 rat pelts. Rat meats, rat foots, rat ears, but no rat pelts, really? What the fuck is this shit? Let me double check and make sure it's not anything special like small rat pelt or something. Giant rat pelts. So, giant rat pelts? Still nothing. We got spider eggs. Yeah, there's no giant rat pelts in this motherfucker. Deathfish / belts, though. You could turn those in. I don't know why they didn't turn those in. Oh, those are ways expensive. Yeah, there's 4 gold. I'm not buying those. No way. I think you have to turn them in 2s, too. What's this guy? He's not a vendor. Okay. Well, I can't buy anything here, so that kind of sucks. So we're going to have to start working our way and killing these rats ourselves. They're blue, so it's pretty easy. As long as I have a... There we go. I have a dagger in my hand, right? It's just so small. Alright, so we're off to a poor start. You ever heard of the Last Epoch? I have not, unless you're referring to, like, Grey Wolf is indifferent. Unless you're referring to, like, Chrono Trigger or something. Rat foots. Maybe they don't drop giant rat pelts. That would be a shame. What are you doing? Jones, what are you doing, buddy? I'm researching quests just because I find it entertaining. I noticed that there's a quest in vanilla that apparently can net you a 3-int earring. And I never knew that. So I wanted to... Oh, you can only have one of those? That's stupid. Sitting here in queue after crashing. Oh, man, that's the worst. On Aerodune? On Aerodune, right? I think that was... I honestly believe that's Daybreak's or Darkpaw's solution to getting the queues to move is to push, like, crashes on people. Because, like, I'll crash randomly. And, like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Why did I crash? And, like... I'll get back in, and, like, there'll be a queue, and I can't do anything. So, what's going on, Azina? How you doing? How's your head feel? You had a headache yesterday. I'm hoping you're feeling better today. But, yeah, I have a character. I have a mage, level 22 on Aerodune. Her name's Dreamcast, and I've just been soloing her. Like, I've been doing research on her. I've just been soloing her, farming money, and, yeah, all of Finny and Koronov, I never crashed. It's the patch. You got a 50 mage already? Yeah. With the 25 experience boost right now, it's actually not very hard to level. The experience on Aerodune feels very fast to me. It doesn't feel slow whatsoever. Same, but I'll live. Thanks for asking, though. Well, absolutely. I hate headaches. Headaches are no fun. So we are not finding any pelts, and this is disturbing. I wish I could steal the pelts off of the rats or something. Maybe that's why we didn't see any giant rat pelts in there. When they released the boost, they fucked up and didn't realize it was 250,000%. 2,500% people got from 6 levels for 1 kill before they fixed it. Yeah, I was actually on when they did that, and I got some pretty fast experience. But yeah, that was a huge... it was very interesting and leveling really fast. And they didn't... I'm surprised they didn't roll it back or nothing. Like, they should have rolled back the servers or something like that, but no, they didn't. No rollback. There we go. That's a stiff hide. I don't want stiff hides. Well, I'll take it, but it's not what I'm looking for. So, are we not getting pelts off of large rats then? Is that not a thing? Oh, it wants specifically giant rat pelts. Okay, so you have to kill giant rats for it. The giant rats, though, are like level 4. It's a level 1 quest for level 4 items. So there's no way we could actually do it without any sort of help. But you have to kill the giant rats. Because it's specifically the giant rat pelts. Wait, the Death Fist pawn is actually indifferent to me? That's weird. But imagine rolling it back after being we're sorry we fucked up with lag and queue. Could you imagine? Just like all of a sudden they're just like, yeah, we're going to roll it back. We fucked up. We fucked up yet again. Let's see. Is the rat pelt actually a quest item? It is a quest item. It's going to take us quite a while. Okay. So the large rats are not going to do it for us. We need giant rat pelts, so they have to be giant rats. So what I could do is I could essentially die. It's the first thing I'm going to do. And then I'm going to have to bring in a box to make it easier, I guess. I'm going to bring in my mage. But yeah, there was no way they could actually roll it back. I mean, rolling it back would have been... I'm a giant rat pellet. I am. Actually, a big old nugget. I could check vendors, too. I didn't think of doing that, actually. But, yeah, as far as with correcting the problem, there would have been no way they could have corrected. If they did a rollback, they would have just made everybody mad. Damn it. I am talking to you. Giant rat pellet. I got you. A big old mealy rat pellet. You want me to check out the last epic? I saw what you said. I got it. The last epic. The last epic. What quest is this? I looked at P99 and EQ Zam. Don't see anything about giant rat pelts. So there's a rogue quest. Specifically, it's called the Rat Patrol. It's in original era. It is a precursor quest, so we're stuck having to kind of do it, just because it's required for another quest that I'm trying to do, and the quest that I'm trying to do is the gnome take, which has a chance to give us a +3 int item. It's a +3 int earring. And that's a really powerful item for... poison supplier. So, do you have items? Oh, look at that. 3 of them, though. Son of a bitch. We need 4! I can buy these, though. Damn it. We needed 1 more. We need 1 more. Oh, wow. Somebody actually comes here and actually sells stuff to this guy. Once I can get in my main account, I also have more hides for your research. Nice, dude. Yeah, those hides are actually really handy. I was able, with the hides you gave me, by the way, I was able to get my first pet, my first level 18 pet, I think it was. So, no, this person doesn't have any either. Damn, I need one more. So I'm gonna have to bring in my mage. She's gonna have to come on over. Come on over. You know English today. I don't. Yeah, I had an English minor in college, and I never use it. I don't even use it when I stream. Who's on the mage account? Oh, Crow's on the mage account, too. Hi, Rein! What's going on, Gamey? How you doing, buddy? Oh, buddy. Mr. Gamey coming in hot. This is bedtime for Gamey, my friends. He is all nestled up, getting ready for bed, and coming in. Coming in, subscribing, rating, giving me them hugs, giving me those cheers. And then he's going to go to bed. Yeah, giant rat spawns in the mine. Yeah, I thought I could do it with large rats, but it has to be a giant rat. So I was trying to cheat the system, and I didn't read the quest close enough. So, but Gamey, how was your stream, buddy? How was Sea of Thieves for you, man? I always enjoy watching your Sea of Thieves stream. Hell, I like watching when you play Warships too. I like sitting there and just watching you play, because it's not a game that I would play. Sea of Thieves I would play, but the Warships game I've already got burned pretty hard on that. So this is what I need on other servers: crystallized sulfur. No, there's no more giant here, so that sucks. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to pull my mage in. More SOT on Saturday. Ooh, what happened on Warships? Let's play SOT together. Just so many games to play. Dude, I'd have to pick up SOT. I'd have to take a look at it and see for myself. The best thing about SOT, I think he has a crush on Mr. Gamey. I mean, everybody should have a crush on Mr. Gamey. Mr. Gamey is amazing. He is an amazing human being. But the thing that really enamors me about Sea of Thieves is the water. And that might sound stupid. I mean, that might sound really stupid. But take the time to watch somebody play Sea of Thieves, or play Sea of Thieves yourselves, because, I mean, it's on Steam now. And just look at the water, especially when you're floating around in your boat, right? Like, the water is insane in that game. Like, it looks so real, and it looks like kind of how you expect water to be. And I mean, it's probably a AAA title, sure. Where the hell is the Magus here? That's what I want. It's probably a AAA title, but they really outdid themselves with the water. And of all the things, like, you know, the boats, the islands, the whatever, but the water is where it's at. Like, they used real water. It's just a recording, right? It's one big video. It's video of water. That would be weird. It's like, oh yeah, we had to use real water just to make it look lifelike. But have you played the game, Wolfie? Have you seen the game? Like, it looks like, it honest to God, looks like real water. It looks so good. It's like you're out there on the sea, man. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. Like, I just love watching the water, and just how good it looks, you know. And it doesn't look laggy, it doesn't look choppy. It looks very solid of a game that was put together, that was optimized well, that doesn't take all your system resources to run. And honest to God, like, when Gamey plays it, it looks like he is genuinely having fun with the game. Not like, you know, he's playing it just to stream it. No, he's playing it because he's having fun playing it. And that's what's important, especially with streaming, so. I don't know if my camera is reversed. Is my camera reversed? I think my camera is reversed. Hold on a second. I gotta flip it. Horizontal? Like that? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Actually, no, I need to flip it back. I need to flip it. Because I'm looking inwards. Boop. All right, we're good. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you're having fun with it. Like, I can genuinely tell that you are having fun playing that game, and you are having fun streaming that game, and just murdering people. So good on you, man. Good job. You did it. You found a game that you can enjoy and stream. Of course, you haven't done a Stardew stream in a while, so. But, I mean, it's all in the times of playing good games. So we were murdered so hard yesterday, though. Oh, yeah? I didn't get to see that, unfortunately. Yesterday, what was happening yesterday? Yesterday, I was just busy with work. So, yeah, I'm thinking about Stardew, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, get some Stardew in there. Make a little variety. Oh, you weren't streaming yesterday. Okay, so I didn't miss anything. Can't stream every day, I guess. Are these guys gonna aggro on me? Are you guys aggro to me? I don't... Oh yeah, they're aggro. They do not like dark elves. My pet would totally murder them though, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, my mage is coming to come help real quick, just so I don't have to endure too much. But yeah, this is technically a level 1 quest that I can do this, but the unfortunate thing is that the mobs are level 3 and 4, so that doesn't help any. Where the hell is that thing going? Oh, the corpse disappeared. And I don't want to hold things up in the stream, so I want to get past this quest real quick. And see what we can see in Akanon when we try to do the second part of the quest. But as I mentioned before, I mean, it's the miners, whatever, 628 quest, which, I mean, I guess the dwarf rogues are a bunch of teamsters. I mean, just guessing. They're a bunch of teamsters that, you know, sit around and talk about all the money they can make when, in reality, I mean, they're a bunch of dwarves in a mine. So let me see if I can pass as a wood elf and see if they don't aggro on me. So wood elf time. Dubious. It's my dwarf. Okay, exterminator is threatening. Okay. Dubious. I mean, pretty much they're mostly dubious. They don't like Innarook, that's for sure. All I'm really here for, though, is just to give her damage shield, so... No, damage shield, not damage over time. Oh, really? The guard's gonna aggro on me? You see how far that guard actually aggroed on her? That's insane. This guy's going to die a horrible death, though. He's gray. He's level 38. That's fine. My pet's just going to murder him. So we're just going to go ahead and apply this damage shield. Problem with Stardew is that I don't remember what I have to do in my progress save game. I delete all of them to start at 0. Maybe that helps. But yeah, lots of SOT right now. I mean, for me, especially when, you know, you leave a game and you come back to it. Yeah, absolutely. It's very difficult to kind of get back into it. I had that problem with like Skyrim, for example. You know, I love Skyrim. There's like one giant rat in here. Are you serious? With Skyrim, you know, you make it to a certain distance in Skyrim, but it's not like the type of game that's like a book, you know, where you try to pick up and put down the game. You know, that type of game. Oh, okay, good. All right, so we got our 4 pelts. That type of game, I mean, I always have a struggle always trying to I always have a struggle trying to, you know, pick that game back up and play it again, you know, because it's like you're thinking to yourself, okay, where the hell did I leave off at? You know, what am I doing? What was I working on? And like you forget all of it. And it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start over and I'm going to create a, you know, I'm going to create a 2-handed warrior or something. And of course, as we all know, it always turns into, you always turn into stealth archers, you know, because that's how you play Skyrim is a stealth archery. But yeah, it's hard when you try to get back into those games. So, I mean, starting over is fine, but you know, we've had that discussion before. Stealth Archer is so powerful. It is like, it's unmatched. And I'm hoping when they make like Skyrim 6 or Elder Scrolls 3 or whatever, or Elder Scrolls 6, that they find a way to make the Stealth Archer not the most overpowered. So you still need to finish Witcher 3? Yeah, I've barely even started Witcher 3. I bought it on, I think, GOG. And then I played it for all of, like, 5 minutes. Well, no, I played it for an hour. And I just couldn't get into it. Oh, you got Guild Wars 2? I've got Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is great for the PvP, but for the PvE, it's fun. But, like, after a while, and once you start getting to the expansions, it's not so fun anymore, in my opinion. But the gameplay for that game feels really good. Like, they nailed it with Guild Wars 2. The gameplay for Guild Wars 2 is so good. Let me see about this guy's quest real quick. Aside from the fact that he can train me. Backstab at level 10. Disarm at level 10. Disarm traps at level 15. Dodge at 5. Double attack at 16. Dual wield at 13. That's an awkward, okay. Hide at level 3, which you think a rogue would have hide at level 1. Parry at level 10. Picklock at level 5. So they have dodge and parry and riposte. If they had block, they'd be, like, really disgusting. Pickpockets at 7. Make poisons at 20. They can apply poisons before they can make poisons? That's weird. Research at level 16. You can get research on a rogue? That makes no sense. Sense traps at 10. Intimidation at 11. Man, they have a lot of weird abilities. Triple attack at 46. That's kind of cool. Only have the base game. Played it a bit and then just dropped it. Had 5 bazillion hours in Guild Wars 1. But no idea how to get my accounts for Guild Wars 1 back. Yeah, I tried playing Guild Wars 1. I was doing Guild Wars 1 when Guild Wars 2 was like in development. Because I wanted to see what it was like. And, I mean, it really didn't give me a, you know, great map on that, so. I am a member, volunteered, exterminate rats, cleaner. Okay, so then let's give him the 4 pelts. See how much experience this is. It's probably not a whole lot. Wow, it's 17%. That was 17% experience. That is not bad. That is actually a whole hell of a lot of experience. And that's at level 2, but that's with 25%. So, but, you know, if you had a bunch of people hunting the giant rats, like, I wouldn't mind doing that quest again. But if you had a bunch of people hunting those giant rats or something, and you had a bunch of giant, oh my god, there's so many. I wish this was the case. These raw hides for frickin' on Aerodune, because I could use the raw hides on my mage. But like people who don't know about the giant rat quest, you know, and if they're selling the pelts and you have this character with a bunch of pelts on him, you know, I would check Aerodune just to see if this character had a bunch of pelts or if like the parcel person, the lady with the beard, had a bunch of pelts. Because you can level up a character really fast if you could buy all of those pelts up and just turn them in 4 at a time. I turn it 4 at a time because it's P99 looking, but you know, you can just throw them in stacks of divisible by 4 and just get a bunch of experience real quick. That's not bad. Thumbs up to that quest. That's a good quest. So now he should have another quest for us, which is going to require us to go to Akanon. So the next quest is the Gnome Take. He doesn't tell us to go to the Gnome City, though. Remember? No. So can we actually not get that quest? I will run to the Gnome City. Collect Gnome Profit. So it's a hidden quest. Collect the Gnome Profit. Okay, so it gives me a key. I have a key, so let's get the hell out of here. I'm pretty much done with Dreamcast here. She doesn't need to stay here anymore. Good job, Dreamcast. You were there for one whole mob. So we're going to run. So I played WoW, closed beta, open beta, and launch, then switched to Guild Wars for a bit, then came back to WoW. Those two games completely destroyed my CS 1.6 aim. You played Counter-Strike 1.6? Really? I think that was the era that I played Counter-Strike. You're talking about an original Half-Life, right? Because I played on the original Half-Life, I played Counter-Strike, and I think it was version 1.6. I was not competitive, but by God, I was super deadly with an AK. If I had an AK-47 with a ping of 30, I would murder everyone. I was that good with that gun. Like, it was my favorite gun. If I was CT and I killed a T with that gun, I would try and grab it. But it was insane on how well I aimed with that weapon. It was just stupid. Just stupid how good that gun felt in my hands. So, that was a fun game, though. So, we're going to Akanon. We're going to Akanon. Fuck it. We're going to Akanon, but I'm not going to do the mail quest. I'm just going to make the run. Was first league on the European Sports League. One of the top 30 solo players in the league at the time and played with a bunch of pro clans back in the day. Wow, that's pretty amazing. You must have played that game a lot, and by a lot I mean like 8 hours to 10 hours a day, just grinding away at playing that game. That's insane. Yeah, in between my Counter-Strike was playing Counter-Strike. I think during the era of Counter-Strike, I think I was playing World of Warcraft. I don't remember. Because I remember EverQuest, I was playing Quake 3 and EverQuest. Maybe I was playing Dark Age of Camelot. No, I was playing Dark Age of Camelot and Counter-Strike. That's what I was doing. Those were your school days. Nice. That's insane, though. Did you have a weapon preference? Like, was there a favorite weapon of yours that you had that you were like absolutely loved? I'm gonna guess MP5. Nope. So you basically could use all weapons. Yeah, I had favorite weapons. My brother was really good with an MP5. I had a struggle with the MP5. He also liked to use the Mac 10 for some reason. We used to have a lot of fun with the Mac 10. Oh, M4 with a silencer? Oh, that nope was an MP5. Oh. M4 with a silencer. Yeah, the M4 with the silencer versus the M4 without the silencer has a completely different feel. Yeah, I did not have the wherewithal with the sniper. I was more without the silencer. I would fire better without the silencer than I would with the silencer. I don't know why. Maybe because it felt more like the AK. Oh, it's gonna be a long run. I could technically take the books, but we're trying to do this like classic, so I could I could technically take Dreamcast. No, I don't want to do that. Is that the runner? That's the runner being chased by Nigel Bloodforge. He's dead. I don't have to worry about him. I'm impressed though. The Pelt quest was actually a lot of experience at level 2 especially. I was really, really good with the Clarion, the CT weapon, cheaper than the M4. With Burst. The Clarion came later. They actually didn't have the Clarion in earlier iterations of Counter-Strike, but I think in 1.6, yeah, they introduced the Clarion. Long time no see, twin. What's up, buddy? How you doing? How you doing? What are you up to, man? Oh, jeez. Oh, Jesus. We're just doing some EverQuest right now. We're doing some research on some of the quests for dwarves. I've been systematically going through the races as far as with quick leveling and watching you winning. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Watching me in a total win. Oh, buddy. Thanks for the follow, buddy. I don't know if I'm really winning, but I think every time I play EverQuest, I'm winning. All day, every day. It's a big win for me to be able to still play EverQuest, even though Darkpaw, or, yeah, Darkpaw now, has many different ways of messing up the game, but we still endure every day, one day at a time. But there was a quest for dwarves that kind of piqued my interest. That can net you a intelligence ring. I enjoy EverQuest as well, absolutely. Clarion was also known as a FAMAS. Is that like in a different language, or? Mason, when was your era of EverQuest when you first originally played it? And are you, what camp of EverQuest are you? Are you a live player? Are you a TLP player? Are you a P99 player? No same language, no idea why it has two names. I think at one point they actually wanted to change the names of the guns so they didn't sound like real guns. That was like a thing. I can't remember why. But they didn't want you actually playing with real guns. So they started changing the names of the guns. I don't know. Oh, op, fuck you. Fucking hate ops. P99, unfortunately. P99 actually offers some... So I was talking about that earlier. I mean, I've watched some YouTube channels, and there's some interesting YouTubers that really represent the game well. But bringing hate onto other players that play EverQuest is really not what it's about. Like... It's funny and all, but honestly, everybody plays EverQuest, and everybody playing EverQuest all derive something different out of it. But you play P99, which is the original experience. If you wanted to talk about TLPs and what's different between the TLPs and P99, I'd be more than happy to discuss it with you. But the P99s... their quests are a little bit better for the experience because they give kind of the true natural feel, I would imagine, rather than TLPs where they gutted the shit out of them. So, the nice thing about the TLPs, though, is that it has a lot of quality of life. But on the flip side of it, it has a system for RMTs called Chronos. And the Chronos, to some people, ruin the game. And the only reason why it ruins the game for some people is because it it kind of attracts the wrong crowd to the game. And you'll have people that will farm items and stuff and have bot armies and, you know, will try to sell items to people for chronos, and it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Versus like P99 where you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. But most of the new development actually goes into the TLPs and live, so they pretty much mirror each other. But I've noticed that there are some things about TLPs as far as with certain classes that many people just don't play. Like rogues, for example. Rogues is not a thing on TLPs because monks are so much better. Like, they really messed up rogues in the TLPs that they need to figure out a way to fix them. And I don't know if they will or not. Because rogues basically are monks that can't feign death. But I've thought about actually trying a P99, maybe even like P99 green or something like that. But I'm so attached to like the quality of life of TLPs. You know, having the chronos to me is a mixed blessing because, you know, I can utilize the chronos to get money really fast if I want to, you know, not have to sit there and farm so much. Or, you know, I can do the flip side and like say, you know, I don't want to pay for this month and I have enough money to where I can buy a chrono and then just have that be my subscription, you know. But yeah, I am definitely not a live player though. I do not play on live. I'm more of a nostalgic gamer. And like EverQuest is probably one of the best MMOs out there. Am I in the right area? Yeah, I am. EverQuest is probably one of the best MMOs out there, especially for the TLPs where you have early on for the first 3 expansions or 4 expansions or 5 expansions where you actually have community. Because all these new MMOs that come out, it's just single player multiplayer games. It's not anything special. It's like you're just the next single player multiplayer MMO. And that realization never came upon me until I played Star Wars, The Old Republic, where you can get a pet, and that pet could basically just be your healer or be your tank or be your DPS. And it was then I was just like, okay, like, why do I need to group with anybody else? You know, I just got me and my little henchman here, and we just murder everything. And it was just like I'm playing a single-player, multiplayer MMO, so. I also like Destiny. I like Destiny. I played Destiny 2 for a while. I did not play Destiny because it was on console only. I can't play shooters with a gamepad. I just can't. I'm a PC shooter. Final Fantasy XIV is very good. The main storyline quest always burns me out, though. I started playing Final Fantasy XIV when they announced, I think, the Red Mage. And so I basically burned through a lot of the content really quick. And this was like months before Stormbringers came out. So I did a lot of the quests. I played a paladin. I had a lot of fun tanking as a paladin. I actually did not switch to Red Mage. I just stayed as paladin. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it burns you out after a while, and it becomes a big laundry list of just memorizing how fights go. And especially as a tank, you have to know those fights. And if you don't remember the fights, or if you leave for like a month and you come back, you forget all the fights, and it's like, ugh. You just feel so bad at the game again. That's kind of the problem I had with Final Fantasy XIV. Plus, it's a single-player, multiplayer MMO that you just have to memorize how everything plays out. But Destiny 2, when I played Destiny 2, that was a lot of fun. I actually went back to it when they went into Season 7, Season 8. I can't remember. You went to the moon. And when you went to the moon, you did a bunch of quests there. And I did that. And I had fun. It was a lot of fun playing that. But then after a while, it was just like, okay. And then just kind of moved on. So, but there was a recent game that came out. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, Phantasy Star Online 2. I played that for a little bit too. I mean, that's a very weeby game. So I have a struggle playing weeby games. Yeah, I played that for a bit. I still have it installed on my system, and I still play it like every Saturday or something. But I mean, it's a fun game. Okay, here we're looking for the sweepers, I think. Can I hail them? Can I hail them to stop them? No. So what do I have to say to him? 628? 628. Okay, well, it's not him because he didn't stop. Scrubbers. What is he? He's a sweeper. Okay, so I need to find a scrubber. Is there any scrubbers up? I know there's a quest you can do. You can make scrubbers spawn, I think, but I don't want to do that. I've been playing Final Fantasy... Ooh, shit. Yeah, I've been playing Final Fantasy 11. I think I just had a bunch of plants die out on me, though. I'm going to have to check tonight. I've been plant farming. But I've been playing Final Fantasy 11 on private servers because I can't play live because trusts kind of ruined the game. Yeah, Star Fox music. Yeah, I listen to mostly retro music and like remix music from video games and stuff because it's very nostalgic. We got to get gang back together in Final Fantasy 11. Been a while, at least to go wild and do something fun. We can. All things considered, Amo's probably like level 75 with all the merits, but like I completely forgot about my plants, so all my plants are probably dead, and I need to go get seeds. I'm not seeing a ooh. Is this what I'm looking for? I think I already said 628 to this one. Yeah, this one's not. Yeah, him, Kelly, 70 through 76, 75. Man. Yeah, I'm seeing sweepers and scrubbers, but neither of them are doing what we need to do. I stopped caring about pace, people. Just going to be enjoying at my own pace. Paige, pace, Para, and I are 40 to 50-ish. Yeah, that's basically what I am right now. Yeah, I'm not seeing any scrubbers. There's supposed to be a named scrubber, I guess, that walks around. I have this key to give him. Now, there's these defective cleaners, but that's basically for the Exterminator quest, which is out of era. That's not vanilla. Seeing a lot of clockworks here, too. I wish I could actually just do a find for one of these. There's a sweeper. Yeah, no named scrubbers, though. Cleaner. Yeah, none of these are triggering. Yeah, this is I bet you if I waited in a location with the key, but man, wait, is this key? It's lore? Yeah, of course it's lore. Okay. Not sure if we're going to be able to find the scrubber. Might not even be up, because I think there's a chance. There's another scrubber, but. Yeah, 60. They're just not responding. Yeah, we are not seeing anything here, unfortunately. So there is another quest that we can do. It's in Kinos, though. But one of the things I wanted to look at was there is the bone chip quest that I want to test first, because apparently the item drops in the bone chip quest, and if I can get it, I can try and do the turn in that way. There's a duster. And the duster I don't think is going to respond at all. And I just fell in the water. Ah, Jesus. Having to swim in the water is so bad. Oh, God, I can't get out of the water. It's so bad in here. I don't understand. Oh, Jesus. All right, we made it out. There's a quest. Okay, so I was discussing a little bit earlier about what we're trying to do. So in vanilla, there is a quest that will net you a +3 int earring. It's a rare chance of getting that earring. And this is one of the quests, but we need to find a scrubber, and we're not finding a scrubber. But it's a +3 earring for practically no work. It's just the percent chance of getting it that gets a little tricky. In actual vanilla, that's actually really damn good. I don't know of many statted earring items that you can get for free that require maybe a little work of actually trying to find a stupid mob to spawn, but this is just one of 2 quests that you can do. So the other quest in Kinos is that you have to basically get this tattered dress, right? Because this guy's daughter is missing, and she's been missing for a while, and apparently she's dead because there's a tattered dress around that you have to find. So the tattered dress, of course, is in the Kano sewers, and it's off of a mob known as the Clerg, I think it is. It's not Clerg. It's some like it's some named gelatinous cube, and if you kill it, it will drop. It has a percent. It probably has a chance to drop. It has a chance to drop that dress. Okay, so, well, if it's tied to a mob and it's tied to a name mob, that name mob probably has a set spawn timer, be it 6 minutes, 8 minutes. If it's in town, mostly it respawns in town that I've seen is like 8 minutes. But if it's like in a dungeon, you know, it could be upwards of 14.5 to 16 to 18 to 28 minutes. I mean, it could be an insane amount of time, especially if we're trying to do the quest repeatedly. So, according to Zam, though, the Dwarf quest for turning in bone chips, for whatever reason, also has a chance to drop this same item. Which to me had me scratching my head. That can't be right, but if it is right, you could farm a bunch of bone chips, which in Paneal is an unlimited spawn of skeletons that you could basically farm and get a bunch of bone chips that way. Now, on new servers, you're not going to be able to get those camps because people are going to be farming the shit out of bone chips for whatever reason to get fast levels or what have you. But you could utilize those bone chips to try and get that piece of item to essentially get one of those robes, put it on a shared bank, log into a Kino's character, and then just turn it in to get the droppable earring. And then now you have a +3 in item, and it's not lore, so you can have multiples. And you would have +6 to your int. I mean, for a Eurodite, you know, I think off the bat, Eurodite has like a 144 int or something. You know, that would jump you up to 150. Like, you know, you're 100 away from actually getting to cap. And that's pretty impressive. I mean, that's a pretty fast way of getting mana quickly on a mage. And the more int you have on a mage, or the more int you have on a caster, you know, the better utilized they're going to be for, you know, doing damage or soloing or what have you. And I remember like leveling in Velios, and it was a while before you actually got, you know, a high int item or even a stat item for your ears. You know, normally it was just mana and health that you'd had to buy, and like the jewel crafting for it is like well over like 300, you know, platinum pieces just to find something like that. Okay, so we're not having much luck with this scrubber. So we're going to look at possibly getting the bone chips and seeing if the bone chips is going to net us the item that we are looking for. Yeah, there's nothing. They're not giving us anything. So I'm going to go ahead and log off here. I think I have a level 7 mage that I can hurry and farm that with, or I can just, I mean, I could take my... Oh. Yeah, Dreamcast keeps murdering these dwarves. They keep aggroing on her, and I have not been paying attention to it. She's just losing faction with dwarves, but she doesn't care. So typically, I do play 3 characters. I play 3 boxes. On TLPs, you can play multiple boxes, but they can't be on the same computer. You have to play them on different computers. So I have, of course, different laptops that I have EverQuest set up on. And on these different laptops, I have one account that has a Beast Lord, one account that has my Druid on there, and one account that has my Mage. And I'm pretty impressed with how well that combination works. And we just absolutely murder with that trio alone. All kinds of things. What is she doing? She's at the bank? Why are you at the bank? I must have turned something in at the bank or gave my money away or something. Yeah, it looks like I gave my money away. Okay, I got bags in here already, so I can hurry up and farm this. I don't know if it'd be better if I actually took Dreamcast to do it, though, but I don't have Dreamcast on screen, so fuck it. We're going to do it with this character. She's level 7, though, so if she dies, she loses experience. But she has her next level pet, which I believe is level 9. Yeah, level 9 pet. There's also an Ixar in here for some reason. I am going to get my Mage out of Kaladib, though. Doesn't need to be in there anymore. But this will give you an opportunity to actually see this really, really weird phenomenon in Peniel as far as with how the skeletons work. And it's been like this for a while. I mean, since like the last 2 TLPs that I've been on. This TLP, Kornov, and I would imagine that it's like this on Eridune too. Where when you kill the spawners for the skeletons, they respawn really quick, and they have a set spawn point that they all spawn at, so you can basically camp it, and you can get bone chips really fast. So kind of interesting. Kind of an interesting way to farm bone chips, and it is definitely something that on a new TLP people will abuse. Because people are fully aware that there is bone chip quests that you can do to basically get experience fast. But I mean, the bone chip quest, I've tried the bone chip quest as far as with trying to level up with it, and it's not the best experience, and it decays really quick. But I mean, I guess it's a free way of getting experience, so... But yeah, Omega, you're expecting, and that was really exciting news. So congratulations, buddy. Keep us reprised on that information for sure. I'm sure you're trying to figure out names. Man, you know what I can go for right now? We're gonna pause this here. I can go for something to drink. I'm gonna be right back. Jesus, I'm just getting too old for this shit. It is definitely a beer. We're going to have ourselves a Rheingeist. It's a Cincinnati brew. IPA, known as the Truth, and is very delectable. I've had it on tap, and it's, of course, far better on tap, but it is very good. Crow, Vis is going to kill me. He says he needs like 6,000 Eldon points. Uh-oh. That sounds like a lot. I haven't even equated out how many Eldons I need. But 6,000 Eldon points, it sounds like he needs to do 10, 20, 30, 40. About 40. Oh man, that's like a 40 count of hards. He's got to do 40 hards. He needs MMC. Well, that's Mistmore Castle. There's more castles, not too bad. Guk is probably by far one of the worst ones. We're talking about Eldons, by the way. Lost Dungeons of Norath. It's an expansion that came out that is actually current era for us right now on Mangler, where it came out with instant dungeons for EverQuest, which was great and awesome. But the problem is that it's also very grindy because you get awarded points, and the amount of points you need to actually buy stuff is like, buy the good stuff is like 5 to 10 times the amount of runs that you have to do. So like you find yourself running like 5 to 6 dungeons, buy your item, and then running 5 to 6 more dungeons. And each dungeon, depending on how good or how bad your group is, on average takes about 40 minutes to an hour. Up to an hour and a half. So it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time that's just sunk into trying to earn those points and gain those levels. It's insane. It's a lot of work too. It is absolutely a lot of work doing that stuff. Alrighty, so we're in Paniel. Paniel is the evil zone for Eurodites, for those that want to play Shadow Knights or those that want to play Necromancers. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to murder primarily decaying skeletons. The pet can do most of the work, so it's not a big deal. I'm basically just queuing up, killing these guys. One at a time, they're going to slowly die. I do have burn, which should one-shot them. And then we're going to start seeing them spawn over here. And they also spawn over here in bunches of 3. So far, I don't see them spawning in their bunches of 3. I hope they didn't fix it. Okay, no, they didn't fix it. Okay, good. So here we go. We got 3 right here. They just respawned. My pet is not boosted, so it's going to take a while. And then this is basically how you camp this. Is essentially you just sit here and wait. The 3 will spawn. They seem to spawn faster than this. Okay, there we go. The 3 will spawn. I'm going to get a little closer. And then you just murder face them. Now, these guys are all gray to me, so unfortunately I will not be making any sort of experience off of them. But I will be amassing a severe amount of bone chips, which we're already at 15. Right, I'm going to put it in my bar here so we can keep track of it. I'm also casting Burn, which is pretty much a low mana damaging spell that is going to help keep these under wraps. So, also, Rein, how do you like my ideas on channel points? It's some pretty good ideas. I was liking the whole hydrate. I was liking the whole doing squats and sit-ups and stuff. I thought that was kind of interesting. I honestly don't have any ideas behind channel points. But maybe that'll allow me to start getting rid of my bots. Who knows? Not many people play the bot games or anything like that. It's not been a thing that's been of my interest. It was kind of like, it was a good run. It was something that I enjoyed doing, but now it's just more maintenance and upkeep at this point. That I would not feel bad if I disabled my bots. But I don't know. If I didn't have my bots, though, some days I would feel very lonely in here. I don't want that. I don't want any of these guys to get away, though. That's the only problem. If they get too far out, then you have to go hunt them down, and then I have to move. And I don't want to move. The nice thing about skeletons also is they do drop they do drop cloth armor, and they also drop rusty weapons. But more importantly, they also drop cracked staves. And the cracked staves is worth about a platinum. So it's not bad money. And killing a lot of these... ooh, eggs. Killing a lot of these skeletons, especially early on, can net you a lot of money quickly, especially if you have the weight allotment to actually carry all the crap. The big problem for us here is that we're not anywhere near a vendor. So since there's no vendor local here, we would have to run all the way back or die. We don't want to die though. But we'd have to run all the way back to at least Tox Forest and go to the Druid Ring and sell at the Druid Ring. So... these guys are actually blue. Not that I'm trying to level right now. On Aradune, I've actually been farming up some money. Especially while I'm working. Don't tell my boss. But while working, you know, I'll just have EverQuest just running in the background. And there's a spawn that is in the third gate of Neriak. Happens every 8 minutes. Every time you kill this guy, he drops an item that sells for about 5.5 platinum. And you just rinse and repeat. Every 8 minutes he respawns. Every 8 minutes you make 5.5 platinum. It's actually really nice, especially if you're at work or something and you're just kind of not really playing. You're just camping. Kind of like how EverQuest originally was, where you really didn't just play the game. A lot of the soloers just camped at places. So it was kind of nice that I didn't have to worry about, you know, really trying to do groups or anything like that. And like the experience just came naturally. So I gained like 4 levels doing it, over the course of, I don't know, two days, 2 full days of doing it, maybe 3 days. But you know, my character's level 22. I've spent some money on the character, but it's got over like 500 platinum on her. And she's only like level 22. So like there's all kinds of stuff that I could buy or twink with the money that she has. So I've been focusing on getting items for her that, you know, would help increase her int or something like that. And kind of get a leg up on being one of the better mages on the server rather than being like a scrub. So kind of interesting. It's money kind of makes the world go round in EverQuest. If you have money, you can get a lot done. That's why chronos are so popular. If you can get chronos, or if you can purchase chronos from another server and then sell them on this server, you can get a leg up on getting some nice gear for your character right off the bat. Especially when the market starts to level off a little bit. And usually that's around the time when a new expansion's coming out. The current items will kind of level out and start to become a little bit more cost effective. Just because with the threat of new items coming out, you know, they're trying to just get rid of their inventory and they'll just basically sell it at whatever price possible. But some items do hold their value for a long time, like the Golden Afridi boots, for example, will hold their value for a very long time. Even through, like, even up to Lucklin, they'll hold their value. So all of Velios, they'll have a high value. But right now, a lot of the items are pretty expensive, like to the point that, like, it's not even worth buying. Like the Golden Afridi boots, I think are going for like 2 kroner right now, which is insane. Like by the time you get to the end of Velios era, they're maybe worth like 800. That's mostly because the Coldane boots are out then, and then the Coldane boots are just basically the same item. So a lot of craziness. You know, but if you can raid or something like that, you can pretty much help supplement that type of need for that item. But chronos for an item is pretty expensive. You know, I've paid chronos for items, but like the most I've paid for an item, I think was my Circlet of Shadow. I remember buying a Circlet of Shadow with chrono. It was like 2 chrono. And then by the time we got to the end of the era, it was probably like 15,000, you know, which is a lot. It's a lot of money, but I mean, you could have probably got 15,000 for like half a chrono or something. So we've been here for all of like maybe 10 minutes, and we already got 61 bone chips. There's actually other areas like this. You know, this is great like for a mage. You know, if you're a level 2 mage, you know, you can do this for maybe a good 20 minutes and you'll hit level. Yeah, so the spawns on this is really fast. And it's a really easy way to farm bone chips, like especially if you want to get Kunark Faction. Kunark Faction requires bone chip turn-ins. This isn't the only area that you can do this in. So Neriak actually has one of its wizard spires that has skeletons that spawn around it. They are also fast spawners. They spawn so quick, kind of like this concept here of them spawning fast. That you can farm there as well, and that's a Neriak, which is pretty central. I don't know if they're higher level though. I think they are higher level. They're like decaying skeleton to skeleton level, but it's still fast kills, and it's nice. You know, there's a few areas in North Row. One of them in particular being the ruined Druid Spire. That they respawn almost instantaneously. So great place to hunt at like level 9 through 14 maybe. Since they spawn so quick, so you're not waiting on spawns. And that's the problem that a lot of people kind of run into playing in EverQuest on these TLPs, is that they're so used to, you know, hunting in areas that have item drops and have familiar territory, as far as with Guck, for example. Guck is probably by far one of the worst camps to go to, because the respawn rate in Guck is like 28 minutes. So if you have a small camp in Guck and you're trying to level, this guy's blue? He must be like level 2. If you have a small camp in Guck and you're trying to level, Guck is not a really great place to go hunt. But there's no real other alternatives, unfortunately, especially at that level. Because I think, I mean, Guck starts at like level 27. But like Guck. Yeah, Guck is not the best. So Guck is basically just a situation of just people are used to hunting there, but they don't really time it or don't really realize that, oh God, I went to Guck. Like, why is it taking so long for this stuff to spawn? Well, it takes 28 minutes. These are 28-minute spawn rates here that it's just insane how long it takes to spawn. Yeah, I can imagine it's overcamped in Aerodune, like to the point that you have multiple picks. But like, what are your alternatives? Split Paw. Split Paw is one of your big alternatives for that. Like early level, you could go to Runny Eye, but Runny Eye runs out at about level 24, I think. Oh, hey, I got the skeleton achievement. But Runny Eye stops at like level 24, 26. Split Paw, I think, starts at like level 28. I think Split Paw is a good kind of 30s dungeon. But Guck is like the 40s dungeon. You know, that's the dungeon you go to when you want to get from like level 34 to like 45 maybe. And then you're ready for the hole. And then you just do the hole. But like Befallen is one of those dungeons that not many people go to. And it's primarily because the thing's fear. It's kind of like Mistmore. Mistmore is another alternative to Guck. But Mistmore, everything fucking heals or fears. It's like, it's insane. Like, how much you have to contend with frickin' Mistmore. So, not fun. Not fun. Ugh. I think the Bone Chip quest, I have to be of good alignment. I think it's a part of the Cleric Guild, so I might have to make a whole nother character to do it. But I mean, that's fine. We'll see what it looks like when you level up a level 1 character to level 2 off of bone chips. I'm thinking that we will need to get about 120 bone chips. But I'm thinking about getting more than that. I mean, we're at 92 right now. I don't know if I got this other camp. Yeah, this other camp is probably busted. It's hard to maintain. You can maintain 2 camps if you have a velocity on your pet and your pet kills them in one single smack. Like if I had my mage up here, my real mage up here, it would probably go much easier. So, but yeah, the 2 camps that are really overcamped in TLPs in vanilla is Unrest and Guck. A hole too. I mean, the hole is pretty much where you end, is your end game for leveling. Because once you get into the hole, I mean, you're pretty much going to be going from level 40 to 50. So, but I would try to get in the hole probably in the level 40s range. I would probably try to avoid Guck altogether if I very well could. Soul B is also another alternative to not doing Guck. Soul B is a very popular zone. What the fuck? Why did you attack that? Soul B will take you from the gnolls all the way to the bats and the bugs. It would probably take you to about 40, 45. So you could avoid Guck that way too. But there's just no items that really drop there, except for the big ones that you'd have to have an Afridi camp for that you're never going to get. But yeah, Mistmore and Befallen are 2 good places to go hunt. But with the fearing and with the heals from MMC, it just kind of ruins it. Like if they didn't fear, it'd be great. But since they do fear, it really makes it annoying. You have to have a high MR just to kind of deal with that. And the only way you can deal with that is if you have an enchanter. And God, being reliant on enchanters to group has always been annoying. That's the one thing I don't like about Classic. Classic and Kunark, you don't have Kai. Hell, you don't even have Kai in at levels until you get to Lucklin. That's why I like Lucklin. Lucklin's like the first real expansion where I'm like, okay, quality of life is really there, even though the experience of EverQuest is starting to decline. But having Kai and having it to where it lasts for, 4 hours or something, really makes it easier to where you don't have to have an enchanter with you all the time now, and get your mana regen maxed. Of course, you could always have a box. Have an enchanter box that's outside of group that's level 50 or 60 that you just use to mana battery your group. That's a thing. You could do that. But, I mean, ain't nobody got time for that, having to level up a enchanter from level 50 to 60 or level 1 to 50. So annoying. Oop, this guy's got a cracked staff. It's actually worth money. I'm actually going to take it on this character just for fun. But yeah, so if you're playing a wizard or a mage or even a enchanter, you can outfit your character with cloth armor off of skeletons. Most actual humanoids, so like gnolls and like goblins and stuff and orcs, also follow that rule. So you can get gear off of them as well. To outfit yourself in like complete cloth gear, which that's weird. I don't have any cloth gear on this character. Which, can really help. Yeah, see, there's cloth gear. I'm going to go ahead and roll in it. So that'll up your armor class, and make you a little bit more powerful. And you don't have to worry about, okay. I'm noticing a trend here, like the higher level skeletons, when they spawn, it just spawns one of them. Maybe I'm just overanalyzing it. Probably just overanalyzing it. I do have another skeleton in the rotation, though. We got 129 chips. I'm going to go for 160, and then we'll call it for this farm session here, and then we'll go try and see what it looks like when we turn them in. You know, this single guy that's spawning is higher level than the other ones. It's really weird. What did I just cast on? I casted Burn on that rat, and the rat didn't actually aggro. He just stood there. I'm just utilizing the aggro from when they hit me. But yeah, overcamping is expected, though, especially when you have a bunch of people joining the TLP. But yeah, there's a lot of people are actually playing mages, too, that I've noticed. A lot of people in mage chat on Aradune. It's a good class to play, especially when you're trying to cut your teeth with either A, learning how to play EverQuest, which not many people who are learning how to play EverQuest play on TLPs, but or B, need to kind of stake a claim in the new TLP. A mage is a good way to kind of stake that claim, so especially if you need to make money. I did it a different way. Like, I remember when I played Kornov, I did it with a enchanter, or no, I did it with a necro, because I thought necros were better than mages, and I was solely mistaken. Later on, necros I think are a little bit better. Necros are kind of a jack of all trade of casters, though, in my opinion. They can do everything. But the Feign Death is probably one of the best things that a necro has in the repertoire. Their dots in raids is really not that great. I was expecting the dots to play a much bigger role, but unfortunately they don't. They definitely do not. Yeah, I actually tested out when I got to level 2 how fast it took me to level 3. When I was doing this, it is about 20 minutes of farming to get to the next level, because these things are only like level 1 and 2. So since they're so low level, it takes, you got to kill like 100 of these guys to get to the next level. And that's an astronomical amount of skeletons that you have to kill. Now, granted, it does net you a lot of bone chips, and you can utilize those bone chips to start a second box or something, which we're going to see here how well the experience is going to be. But I'm not holding my breath on the amount of experience is going to be anything good. So I have a feeling that the amount of experience this will net will probably be, a good level. But the second level is going to be really slow. But, I've been surprised before. So the giant pelt quest, for example, for turning in those pelts was actually very advantageous, especially even at second level. If there was a way that you could capitalize on that, and if people were not aware of that quest, and you had a bunch of dwarves that were just killing and getting giant pelts and just selling them, you could buy them up after you've done the mail quest 2 or 3 times, and since you have a little bit of money under your belt, you could buy those pelts up and level up really quick. Of course, granted, you're going to be a rogue, but you could find ways to get your faction up with the guild to actually do the quest. But you have to be at least amiable. So, but I wouldn't imagine it would take that long to get to amiable if you were a dwarf in a dwarf town that probably had to be agnostic. I would assume that you'd have to be agnostic. Yeah, we've been killing these blue skeletons, by the way. Look how much experience they give us, like practically nothing. But we are at a goal, I think. We are at 164. So I'm going to go ahead and get us out of here. I'm out of beer, too, so I'm going to have to give another one, so I'll be right back. I'm going to have to refill on some of that beers. moving on to the Elvis juice. This is a brewery from Brewdog. It's like drinking soda. We have a local brewery here of Brewdog in Columbus. I've visited a few times. It's actually really good. All right, buddy, I'm off to bed. Have a good one. Have a good night, gamey. Take care, buddy. Have a good sleep, and I will see you tomorrow if you're on. We're going to continue doing our EverQuest here for a little bit longer. But I'll probably wrap things up here in about maybe an hour. So, Saturday. You're not going to be around tomorrow? Okay. I get you. I feel you. It's all good. The Eridan Palace is kind of fucky. I mean, this place is a little confusing. But you just got to think of it as in two sections. The right and left section basically takes you to the basement where the bank is, and then the forward section across the way takes you to the caster guilds. So we want this in here. Okay, yes. All right, so then we're done with that. We're going to go ahead and camp out. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Decided on those 3 days just to not burn out quick or something and have some time with Askir without feeling bad. Well, that's good. You got to split your time, buddy. Have a good night, though. I'll see you later. All right, so we need a new character. And that has to be a dwarf and probably a paladin or a cleric. Doesn't really matter. Random name. God, I don't want to play a cleric, though. I don't want the horror story. I don't want my... Oh, that's a nice name, actually. Erdolar. I think I have to be Brel Cerilius. Okay, and then we will enter world. But yeah, I played a dwarf cleric back on Kornov, and it was almost by force from myself because I played a tank, and I felt like, okay, I need a healer. I'm just going to play a cleric because clerics make the best healers, and it was probably the worst experience I ever had playing a character on EverQuest. Mostly because I don't like healing, and clerics, all they do is heal. They don't really do anything else. So I had such a struggle actually playing the character, like, even just by itself. And, I mean, it was easy to power level because, I mean, everybody wants clerics in their groups. But I just couldn't do it. It was so bad. So we got to get out of the Paladin Guild. I think we're actually in South Caledon right now. No, we're in North Caledon. We're going to go over here, and this is going to take us to the bank. I'm going to have to look up, though, where this bone chip quest is. Okay, so here's the bank, right in front of the miners. The miners, let's see what they con to me. Indifferent, so that's not very bad. Brel Cerilius, indifferent. I only have to be amiable. So if we look up through faction, which is a handy dandy tool now, you can actually look up your faction. You can't do this on P99. I can actually look up my miners 682 whatever 628. Miners 628 indifferent. We need 10 points to amiable. Like that's like one quest. And I don't know if he would give the quest to me. Yeah, you'd have to kill maybe 10 bandits to get the next quest out of the way. So I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I don't want to be a teamster anyway, so fuck them. So we have enough bone chips to basically start our own bone chip army. I don't know. And we're going to go ahead and turn these in. Ardalar. We're going to need to look up the bone chip quest too. So we're in North Caledon, bone chip quest. We got to see Gunlockture. Gunlockture. It's not a door. Okay. Here I am staring at this door thinking to myself, I can get in here, right? Gunlockture. I think he's out in the open somewhere. Nope. I could check my map, but, you know, I'll just get into here. There he is. So, Gunlockture. This guy's the Paladin Guildmaster. And we want the courage to battle the undead. He wants bone chips. So, he wants 4 bone chips per turn in. I think it's 4, right? Return 4 bone chips to me. So, we have 160. So, we actually have essentially, what, 40 turn-ins? 40 turn-ins of bone chips. Every turn-in, though, is going to net us an item. Which is not what we want. We don't want that. But luckily, there is a Paladin spell vendor here that we can actually turn that shit into. So, let's turn in 20 at a time, which will give us 55 items. And some of these we can actually use. And they're actually leather pieces, too. So, it's a quick way to get actual... It's small leather, of course. So, you have to be amiable also, right? No. Huh. You don't have to be amiable. Oh, and also, it gives you Miners Guild 249 faction. So, there's no actual requirement to faction on this one, though I don't think that's true. But, I mean, it doesn't say there's a faction requirement. So we turned in 24 bone chips, and it has netted us 50% experience. Now, we do have an experience bonus, but that... We're going to switch this out, too, just for fun. But still no dress. So, no tattered dress yet. So, let's go ahead and do another 20. 20 at a time, just for fun. We got a patchwork tunic. We got a helmet. We've got arms again. Hey, we got a torch even. Can we use that in the offhand? Maybe we can. No shield yet, though. But more importantly, no tattered dress. A very quick way to get your character geared up with a bunch of leather pieces, though. So another 5 turn-ins. Here we go. That, of course, is a level. He also gave us a lantern. And some pants. And some of these pieces is actually like gold's worth. But I couldn't foresee why you would pay platinum. I've seen people pay platinum for bone chips, and I don't think it's worth it. Character's at 2 platinum already, though. How's the character at 2 platinum already? Am I actually getting money for this? Oh, he actually is giving us money for this. That's interesting. So another 20. We'll do the turn-in. Still no dress. But we have a paladin that's fully geared out in leather armor now. Well, at least visually. Yeah, definitely a fast way to get gear on a character. And the bone chips themselves, they go for like a silver a piece. So if they're going for a silver a piece, If you sold 160 of them for a silver apiece, that would be 160 silver, which would be 1 platinum. So we've already made 3 platinum just from doing the turn-in and selling the items. So it's better than actually selling the bone chips outright. He gave us a mace. Still no dress, though. It's probably a glitch or something in the actual quest database that I have a feeling that is incorrect in the system. I don't think it actually drops this dress. The amount of experience has dropped off considerably, though, that's for sure. We're up to 5 platinum now. And we'll turn in the last 40. I think we have enough space for that. We got a 2-handed sword. Nice. Yeah, no dress, though. I don't think the dress is accurate as far as with this turn-in. It wouldn't make sense anyway. I just wanted to test and see. But we did well over 40-plus turn-ins, and we didn't see a single dress, so... Rusty 2-handed sword. It's way too slow. So, with 160 bone chips, which would net us about, if you were to just sell the bone chips, would give you about a gold piece, right? It'd be like 16 gold, which is like 1 platinum and 6 gold. We instead made 7 platinum doing the turn-in and, of course, a level and a half with all of that stuff. So that's pretty crazy. Like, that's... If you could just farm bone chips, that's like... We did maybe a half hour, maybe 20 minutes of farming, of doing those bone chips, and netted about 7 platinum for doing that. So what would it look like if you had, say, 1,000 bone chips? So let me get a calculator out. So 1,000 bone chips, so 160 is 7, so it would be about 7 times that, almost 6 times that. 160 times 6, so 960. So 960, well, no. So 6 times, so it'd be about 42 plat if you were to sit there and farm 1,000 bone chips, right? Is it worth it? I mean, if you're getting experience off of the mobs that you're farming, and then you're taking the bone chips and just turning them in for experience, I mean, I think so. I mean, you'd level up pretty quickly. The thing is, though, is that the place that I go to farm all of those bone chips is completely on the other side of the planet versus where the turn-in is, which is in Fedor. So you have to go between Otis and Fedor. That'd be crazy. Like, that type of travel would be near impossible if you were trying to do it for experience. So, because there's no boat that goes from Otis to Fedor, let alone a boat that goes from Kinos to Freeport. So you would essentially have to farm the bone chips on one character and turn those bone chips in on another character to make that money. Which, I mean, shared banking, you could. You know, because back in the day, shared banking wasn't a thing, and you didn't have a shared bank amongst your characters, and money actually had weight. It's a skunk eye doing it here. That's gross. Gross. So yeah, no. Unfortunately, there was no dress. Okay, so no dress. So now we're going to pull out the druid. And I want to take a look and see if we can actually locate and find this named... I'm going to see if I can find this named gelatinous cube in the Kinos sewers. All right, so we don't... Well, I'll have to take the money off of him later because we don't want that money to go to waste. Excuse me. Drinking beer, for whatever reason, gives me the sleepies. All right, so to Kinos, we'd have to go to Surefall. It pays to have a 65 druid that can port around everywhere. Wheel. How I feel with my wench. Yeah, I know, right? Having a character that can port around is like a complete game changer. I've always had a druid. Like, even when I was on Kornov, I had a druid. But, like, my original character was a druid. And, like... It was hard to imagine what life would be like if you had a character that could not port around. Of course, when I played my Shadow Knight, I was no longer playing my Druid, and it was a much different experience for sure, not being able to get around and having to buy ports and stuff. You know, which feels bad, man, when you have a porter and yet you can't play your porter and your Shadow Knight at the same time, so you're like having to buy ports. But that's basically how it was. I mean, you were basically stuck with, you know, having to rely on other people, which is kind of the name of the game. I mean, if you don't rely on other people in EverQuest, you know, you're just playing a single player, multiplayer MMO, you know. But, like, there are classes that can solo in this game, and Druid was one of them. You know, but after a while, it just kind of got boring. Sucker is down here, which we want to take the sucker point. Let's use Exodus. We don't need it anyway. We don't need no stinking Exodus. We'll head into North Kinos. And then we will head into the sewers, which we're going to have to do some tracking to see if we can find the named gelatinous cube. Cubert. Oh, I get it now. Cubert is the name of the named gelatinous cube. All right, so the aqueducts, is that where we're going? No, we're going to the catacombs. So there's there's actually a couple ways to get into the catacombs. What is this? Oh, plane of knowledge. One of them is with a well. There's a fake wall here, and then we have a well. Okay. It's the first time I've been into the aqueduct system. This place is a nightmare, by the way. Oh, hey, an investigator. He was killed by the fire beetle. Can I hail him? There were too many, too strong. What if I can actually kill him? I don't want to kill him. Let's see. So, the hell? A giant sewer rat. Let me get some hammer time going. Come here, you. So this drops a giant rat pelt. Interesting, right? So is this the quest item that we need? It is a quest item. I'm gonna go ahead and loot that. I don't know. That's weird. Why do I have a giant grizzly bear skull in my inventory? I have a feeling, though, that if you turn it in, it's not going to... Ooh, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? He drops a torn parchment. Yeah, I haven't done any of the Kinos quests, really. I've done only a couple from the Uridan side. But I'm sure that the Catacombs has a lot of, like, special weirdness because... the Catacombs was probably one of the earlier zones that was developed because, I mean, it's Kinos. Who's this guy? Are you evil too? Apprehensive. I don't want to kill you. And this reminds me of, like, if you played, like, Arena. That's why I like coming down here. Like, I've never been on this character before down here, but I've come down here before in Kornov. Where, like, Kane is one of them. It reminds me of, like, Arena, if you remember playing Elder Scrolls games. Arena, where you have, like, the water and the sewer-like system, and you're running around killing monsters and stuff. Like, that was Clumpy the Rat Slayer. Yeah, this reminds me, like, 100% of Arena and how that game was. Which was a really fun game, actually, especially for its time. Okay, so I'm just running around in circles. So we're going to pull out track and see if we can find Qbert, or if we can get Qbert to spawn. I'm going to do it by alphabetic. So I do not see any named by that name. Does he have any placeholders or anything? Is this a quest that no longer exists? It's either I'm not seeing him because I'm too far, or I'm not seeing because he's not up. Everything else here is A, though. I don't want to... Well, I'm seeing all of the NPCs in the zone, though. I do have to be careful, though, because if I run into the Necro Guild, that would be awkward. Hello, smugglers. Oh, man, these guys are level 11 and 12? Jesus. I wonder if they actually have... Let me see. Qbert. Nope, no Qbert. Yeah, he's likely not spawned. I could put a height filter in here, but... okay. If we go this way, does it take us down a level? It takes us up a level. Is that a zone line? Or did it just take us down? Okay, that didn't help us. I didn't realize there were like level 11 and level 10 mobs down here. We got some thugs. We got some smugglers. We got a beggar down here. What's up, buddy? No place for a person of your standards. I, but a beggar, which can live among the sewer rats. It'd be best if you leave this dangerous place. Okay. Yeah, there's a whole camp of, like, smugglers down here. Don't worry about me. I'm just killing your rats. You got a rat problem down here. I gotta take care of it. And the smugglers are level 10. They're much more higher level. So we need to get back up, though. This is more of like a dead-end area, if anything. It's invisible. Ooh. Is that where the beggar was? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we don't want to be anywhere near this area here. There's another fake wall here if I can get through. I'm not quite sure where this Cubert guy even spawns, though. Yeah, I remember having to... Ooh, that takes us back to Kinos. Yeah, I remember having to navigate this when you had to do your Shadow Knight quest. And it was a giant pain in the ass. Bait Masterson? What's he doing down here? This guy's over in Freeport. Oh god, he's looking at me. You know what's creepy is he's fishing in like a sewer aqueduct system. Like, what is he, like fishing for turds or something? Because like that's all you're gonna find in there. It's not gonna be anything delectable. Okay, we're starting to see zombies now. Piece of rat fur. It's kind of not what we're looking for. That's going to take us back to Kinos. We don't want to go there. Wait, what the hell just hit me? A piranha? Really? What the hell are piranhas doing in... Okay. Like, who the hell brought piranhas to the sewers? Okay, we're starting to see zombies and other kinds of fun. Okay, there is a Cubert. They just spelled it wrong. He spawns right here. So this beggar, are you a placeholder? What happens if I kill you? Okay, well, Kinos. Okay, you're a Kinos citizen. Okay, well, I fucked that up. Just gonna clear this area out here. There's froglocks down here? What the fuck are froglocks doing down here? They went like all out with the freaking sewers. I didn't realize how much of a little like area of hunting this place is. Holy shit. Did you see that thing that just spawned right in front of me? Like, is shit like respawning extremely fast down here? Okay. Is there really a shark down there? I don't want to check. I don't want to get zoned out because I'm in the area that I want to be in. Okay, so stuff is respawning extremely fast down here to the point that you could probably level down here. Wow, like this is stupid fast. This guy. Whoa. Whoa, this guy, he's running. Yeah, I have a feeling that these are different pelts, but I'm still going to try and see if I can turn them in. But yeah, there's definitely another quest that requires rat pelts in Kinos. Yeah, they're saying that the spawn point is actually right here. Yeah, this is insane. The effect. Okay, there he is. And he didn't drop it. That son of a bitch. Yeah, look at the spawn rate here is like a minute. That's not bad. That is honestly not that bad. And it's in Kinos. So you could technically make your Uridite mage, get to level 2, and then come down here and murder. I'm going to check the levels on these things. These froglocks would be a little tricky. I think they're only level 5. They probably would all pull though if you pulled one of them. The beggars are a spawn holder. They're probably a placeholder though, so that would be a problem. How did he go? Jesus. So you'd have to find a way to get to recover your faction for Kinos citizens. Which I imagine a beer quest or like a brandy quest would do that for you. I think it's 4 giant pelts. The spiders are level 4. We got another beggar spawn here. According to this, it says yeah, the spiders here will drop silk too. So I've got 16 spiderling silk too. So not bad. You can actually make money here too. Because the spiderling silk always sells for money on new TLPs, because people will buy the spiderling silk. Okay, there's a regular gelatinous cube here. It's only level 5. I don't like the fact that there's beggars taking up placeholders, though. His spawn rate kind of sucks. You would be spending a lot of time here just trying to get him to spawn, I think. These giant spiders, though, ain't bad. I mean, having these giant spiders to get you some silk. I mean, we've gotten 18 spiderling silk and 7 spider silk. Like, if there was an Aerodune right now, that's like 18 plat right there. So this might be an interesting place to farm Spider Silk Cucky. I know Cucky was looking for a place to farm silks. It's a regular Spiderling, is level 3. You get snake eggs down here too. It's another one. Those sell for money. And the snake fangs you can use as a turn-in for dark elves. Yeah, this it's a really fast spawn. And there is a series of drops here that you could sell for trade skillers while trying to farm a See, now the beggars, though, is annoying. Like, the beggars are, like, in the way. Another gelatinous cube. I bet you the gelatinous cube is actually, like, a placeholder for Cubert. Seems better than Uguk. Uguk for what? Are you farming Spiderling Silks in Uguk? Spider Silks, yeah. I'm getting Spiderling Silks. You're getting bone chips here. Yeah, 2 bone chips off that. This has everything. It has bone chips. It has spiderlings. It has... Damn. This has spider silk. You get snake fangs and snake skin. Oh, this is king snake skin. I don't want that. It's a regular green snake down here. Level 1. Fire beetle eyes. That's also a turn-in. Sewer rats, which drops the... Look at him swim away. He's trying to swim. Yeah, the rat pelts you can actually turn in at Kinos too for a quest. I don't know how well of experience that is, but I mean, I'd be willing to try it. Somebody's got to know about this. This can't be something that I just discovered. Because I don't know many people that actually come down in this area. Another gelatinous cube. Oop. I'm hitting that rat and he's like booking the shit out of here, and I can't see where he's going. Yeah, where it spawns are kind of slow, and they drop at 6 at a time sometimes. That's nice. Yeah, we did see Cubert. We did see Cubert once. I don't know if a rat tooth is for anything. Most of the rat parts are actually for quest turn-ins in in Kinos. You can actually get various pieces of loot out of that. All right, level 6, which a level 2 mage can solo. The beggars are level 5. They have to die though. That's the shitty part, is you have to kill the beggars. They're taking up spawn points. So at a certain point, I mean, you're basically going to be left with having to murder all of the beggars down here, and you'll lose all your faction. And look at that spider silk. It's the spider silk is just flowing right now. Another gelatinous cube. It's very interesting. I mean, as far as with if I were to do something on Kinos, Fire Beetle Carapace. Is that for anything? It's a quest item. It's probably for one of the new items. Fighter Beetle Carapace, CQ. It is for the armor. The DON armor. Level 4 snake. Yeah, most of the things here seem to be like level 1 through 6. Oh, there he is again. Wow, this MFer does not drop this thing very commonly. You can get bat wings down here. Jeez, you can get bone chips and bat wings down here. I don't know why I'm looting. What? I don't know why I'm looting these spider legs. I'm gonna try for one more Cubert spawn. According to this, he spawns like right in this area. Trying to see what the respawn is on this stuff. So far, it's approaching about a minute. Of course, I walked away and then it respawns. It's weird. Oh, we got a beggar. Oh, there's Cubert again. All right, we got the dress. Small tattered dress. That's kind of what we've been after. So it took us a little bit to kind of farm it, but this is something you could totally do. What level is Cubert? I totally missed it. Cubert is like level 4, so not very high level. So now we have to turn in this quest. So it looks like there's an exit here. Is there an exit here? I'm seeing that there's something here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so right where Cubert spawns, there's an exit into South Quenos, which is actually kind of nice, too. So that's actually very freaking convenient. So it's probably not going to... It's probably... Oh, wow. Where is this? This is... Okay, right here. It's right next to the exterminator. Right under the bridge there. Okay. All right. Small tattered dress. Find Lucy Elron. Guard Elron. Oh dear, no, I want but the Octodets. I want her. She always said the times of need gave courage to go on and live for you. Think for your efforts. Okay, so requires apprehensive guards of Kino's faction. He gives the golden locket. I don't want to give it to him, though. The daughter of one of our guardsmen is missing. He has offered me a reward for any information to spare us anything. Let me know. If you hand the dress into Zamel... hey, take this as your share of the reward. Her father will be heartbroken. He'll give a hematite and rarely a golden ear stud. And then there's another guy who will also give a hematite or a golden ear stud. Trying to see if the notes see anything about... Okay, so you have to be apprehensive or better. So you can't be evil. Okay, well, let's go with... It's either going to be Zamel or Edric, so... Now we just have to find him. Well, Zamel's not listed on related creatures. That's disturbing. Can we do a find? Zamel? There is no Zamel. Endrick? Is he an NPC of some variety that sells stuff? Nope. What about Zamel? Nope. Okay. Are we in the wrong zone? This is South Kinos. Are they in North Kinos? The guard is in North Kinos, but Zamel and Endrick are in South Kinos. All right, so can we track them? We have it in alphabetic. So we got Zamel here and then Endrick. I'm going to check out Endrick. He is behind and to the right. He is still behind me. Is he in the Fire Brides? Oh, there's Zamel right there. Zamel, much coveted duty of pulling sludge up from the pools and aqueducts of Kinos. Rumor of beasts who live under the city. Child's fate. Okay, so then we have this. Is this actually wearable? No. So then we give him the dress. And he gives us a hematite. Okay, so The sucky part is that it has two rewards. One of them is the hematite, and the other one is the actual earring. Which is not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and sell this crap. It's not a big deal, but you'd have to basically go in and out every single time you wanted to do the turn-in. Oh, I got giant rat pelts. I'm going to try turning those in, too. But you'd have to do the turn-in every time. But if he's, like, right there or wanders right there, that's not too bad. The hematite, however, is 6 silver, and that sucks. That is not a fantastic reward. I need to take off her. She's got minus charisma items I need to take off real quick. It makes her super ugly. A lot of spiderling eyes. I don't know why I'm looting those. Don't know why I'm looting those. Star ruby? Why do I have a star ruby? Why is the star ruby only worth 30 platinum to her? That seems off. I don't know why the star ruby is not worth a lot to her, but okay. I will just not sell it to her. Okay, well, let's port back. It's an interesting find. I don't know how often we would have to kill Qbert to not only get the robe, because it took us 3 times that time, so that was a 33% chance drop for us. And secondly, you know, if it's a rare drop for the earring, how often would we have to do the turn-in every single time? But this right here, the entrance right here, would take us right to Qbert. Right to Qbert, to where you can just start farming right off the bat. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. You just have to have a mage with a bunch of, probably at least level 2. But like as a Eurodite, I could come in here and just start farming that area and be making massive amounts of money between the silks and having turn-ins for all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, it's definitely still loading. I'm going to go ahead and put these in a shared bank real quick. And then we're going to try and see if we can actually turn them in. We probably can't because they're probably specific to Kinos. But, I mean, there's no harm in trying. I think the other ones were stackable, though. So let's go ahead and camp out. I think the rogue is still in Akanon, but we can take her out of Akanon real quick. We're coming onto the close of stream time, but I will go ahead and do this real quick, and then we'll probably call it a night. He could almost do the quests, but he's not trusted yet. So we'll go ahead and log her in real quick. Check and make sure that there's no... I think they have you looking for a specific scrubber. Yeah, because it's not definitely not the little cleaners. Okay, let's go ahead and get back into Akanon real quick. Or not Akanon. Kaladin? Kaladin? Excuse me. Yeah, unfortunately, there is no quick way to get to Kinos. Like, the only way you can get to Kinos is if you got ported over there. And I mean, by ported over there, I mean like Surefall Glade. Um, and I mean, that's not self-sufficient to me. So you're stuck with either making a mage that starts over in Kinos that's a human, or you're making a mage that is going to be a Eurodite, which is not bad because we've talked about Eurodites before already, and some of the quests that they have at their disposal starting off, which would give us kind of a quick run into getting a fast leg up on getting levels. So, because you can just repeat certain quests that will get you to level 2 very quick. And once you're level 2 as a mage, you're pretty much ready because you have your pet at that point. All right, here we go. Only need 4 of these, and we're going to check and see if this is the same quest turn-in item as the other one. It probably isn't, but, you know, you never know. Here you go, Jeet. It is. It absolutely is. So not only did that net us a good amount of experience, it also got us a piece of armor. Which I guess the last one gave us a piece of armor. Gave us a mask. So that's not bad. That's another area you can go to get that item. Though turning it in, you'd have to be... since you have to be amiable, that kind of sucks. Like, you could cheese it if you had to be indifferent, because indifferent you can just use the invis quest, and the invis trick. You know, when you go invis, you're indifferent to everybody. But since you have to be amiable, you have to actually have the faction to be amiable. So that doesn't work out so well. So, I mean, you can't get a Eurodite over here anyway. But you could technically farm up a ton of those pelts, and you could level up a dwarf character really quick. But they don't stack. I kind of like that they don't stack, though. Because it's probably why the quest still retains its experience, because they don't stack. And since they don't stack, you know, if they did stack, I would have a feeling that the experience on it would be super nerfed. But I think the dwarf version of the item, they did stack, so I don't remember. I have to rewatch the VOD to see, but I could have swore that they did stack for some of the other character, or for this character when I was buying them. But there's not any for sale now, so... Yeah, there's a bunch of items, though, for somebody is, like, warping here and just selling immediately to these vendors, so... Yeah, it's very interesting, though. Not a bad quest, though. Really fast experience. So you could technically get to level 3 and probably farm the rats, because the rats are level 3, so you could probably kill them at level 3, and then just turn in the pelts and still get more experience to help, like, you know, offset. But... a rogue soloing a white, I mean, that could be kind of difficult. You would have to take some rest or some downtime. But if you did, like, maybe a paladin and you got some faction ahead of time with the rogue skill, because, I mean, a paladin was indifferent. So it probably is not that hard to just get some kind of quest done to get the faction for them. Yeah, so we're going to call it quits here for the night. We did some really good research as far as with... some of these quests. Dwarves have some really good quest potential for the male quest. I mean, it was nice having the experience bonus, but if you're, like, starting off, you know, if you were to get an experience bonus pot and do the quest, I don't think experience bonus pots, though, actually help with quests, but the the experience bonus that we have currently does. But yeah, you could get a dwarf character up pretty quick with some money under your belt if you did the mail quest, the postmaster quest for all 3 of the areas, because it was giving you like 1.5 pieces of plat just to do the quest. So, and almost it's probably a little over a third of a level, so like 38%, 40%. So that's not too bad, like 42% actually. It gives you 42% experience. It's not a bad run. There's not a whole lot of things that aggro on you except for maybe a couple things, but your guards will help you. And you'd have to do the run at least twice, plus some sort of buffer in there that would help offset like the extra like 11% that you'd have to get. So probably safely you could get it done 3 times. You'd have 4.5 pieces of plat to actually spend on spells or gear, and which is not a whole lot. But then you could probably take that money, and if there was a bunch of rat pelts on a vendor, you could probably buy a bunch of those rat pelts on a vendor and then just turn them in for more experience, and get to level 3 really quick if you're fortunate enough to find a rat pelt vendor. Or what you could do, if people aren't smart on Kinos, since we've discovered that Kinos is another area where those pelts can drop, you could probably check vendors there and then just do a shared bank and then just buy all of the pelts, because they're only like 3 silver. Since you have the 4.5 plat, you can buy a bunch of those pelts and then just transfer them over through a shared bank to your other character, and then just have a bunch of pelts to turn in and rinse and repeat. And you could probably get some pretty fast levels that way, especially if you can get your hands on those giant rat pelts. So, I don't know, kind of interesting. Kind of some interesting things you can do with a dwarf character, or a character that has amiable faction with the Miners Guild, which I was looking up the actual faction with the Miners Guild. And there is a couple ways to actually get your faction up with them. Though, I mean, depending on what your race is, you know, with dwarves, you could pretty much do it with any dwarf, I think, as long as you're agnostic or you're Brels. But, you know, if we can't do the Rat Patrol quest. Oh, buddy. What's going on, Ghoulie? You caught us at the tail end of our stream as we were doing some research for the dwarf quests. We're just kind of recapping at this point. But, yeah, if I'm trying to think of how you would be able to get the faction for the Miners Guild, because most of the quests I'm seeing that you can raise faction with require to be amiable with the Miners Guild. So that doesn't work out too well. There is a quest that allows you to turn in runny eye war beads, but runny eye war beads are not going to be accessible unless you can buy them off a vendor. Rat Patrol requires you to be amiable. Parry pick. This is, I want to earn a parry pick. What is a parrying pick? Apparently there's a pick that you can get that has AC 7 on it that you can parry with. That's kind of interesting. But it's rogue only and it's dwarf only. That's even more interesting. So again, you have to be a rogue, so that's not going to help you. But that requires you to kill a bunch of bandits. Which Dunfire, I think we ran into one of the Dunfires. They're level 11. So that's not happening. Miner's Pick. What's this one? This one is a Dwarf Rogue item again. This is a damage 7, attack delay 31 with a backstab of 7. So can't do that one. Miner's Cap. Again, amiable. Rogue only item. Rogue Dwarf only item. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of quests. So you'd have to kill something. So you'd have to kill dwarf bandits. And Dwarf Bandits, I think, are like level... Oh, they're level 4. Level 4 to 6. Yeah, there's no easy way to raise the faction to amiable. No, there's actually NPCs in Kaladin you can kill to actually raise it, but I don't think you want to do that. Yeah, there's no easy way to raise the faction. All the quests, unless you get the Runny Eye War Beads, which if you had 4 of those, you could turn those in for... Nope, you got to be amiable. Never mind. There seems to be a lot of turn-in quests, though. The War Beads and the Pelts, both, are 2 series of quests that probably net a lot of experience. I'd have to check with the War Beads to see if the War Beads were even worth turning in if they don't stack. I mean, if they don't stack, I would imagine they would still give good experience. So... There's actually a ore quest that lowers your faction. Wow, there's an ore quest you can turn in that actually lowers your faction. You receive 14 platinum. Oh, this is a Plains of Power quest. Yeah, there's no way in hell we do this. Yeah, there's a quest in here for Plains of Power for you to put a bunch of ore into a crate, and it nets you 60 or 14 platinum, which is like, if you're level 1, that's like a lot of money really quick, but that's not vanilla. If it was vanilla, that would have been amazing. Especially if you can do it at level 1. But those damn Teamsters, man. Yeah, all of these quests are, they're all... Oh, okay, here's a dubious quest. Okay, so there's a quest in here. Nope, it's Plains of Power. Never mind. Damn it! Yeah, the only way you can get your miners faction up is if you kill Dwarven Bandits. If you wanted to do something, kill something that was like the easiest thing to kill at low levels. Oh, most of the other things in here, they're all like level 10. Yeah, there's just it's no good. Yeah, it's very, very difficult to get your faction up with the 628s. But they had, look, I mean, if the Runny Eye War Beads were any good, let me see. Runny Eye War Beads. What drops them? Clan Runny Eye, Kithakor Forest, and Misty Thicket. Okay. So Misty Thicket. That doesn't seem too bad. So Misty Thicket, the Goblin Warriors drop them. And the Goblin Warriors are level 8. So that's not going to work either. They're too high level. In Butcher Block Mountains, a Goblin drops them. Goblins are level 4. Maximum level 28. That's weird. But I'm wondering if the higher level ones drop the beads and the lower level ones don't. Yeah, it's just strange. Like, getting that faction would be very difficult. So it makes it great for rogues. So play a dwarf rogue if you want to level a rogue really quick. But yeah, anything else, it just doesn't have the faction. You'd have to get the faction somehow. So yeah, but we're gonna call it quits here for the night. We finished some of the dwarven quests that we wanted to try. And we happened to find a new area to hunt that would be great for TLPs, just because it nets you a lot of spider silks. It gives you an opportunity for a turning quest for an int earring, and it also gets you some other turn-in items that could be beneficial for other races or classes if you wanted to try other races or classes. But without further ado, my friends, I appreciate all of you coming by, stopping by, and watching me do my stream here and playing some EverQuest and doing my research. I'm going to take a look and see if anybody is worthwhile and actually hosting. We got Zotmeister who's actually streaming. We love you, Wayne. Love you too, Omega. I mean, yeah, we can do Zotmeister. What's he playing? He's just playing retro, so that makes sense. Yeah, we're gonna host our buddy Zotmeister. I don't know when this thing actually kicks off. I need to get my stream thing here real quick. But yeah, so I will see you guys again maybe Tuesday. It's been really hit or miss for me for Tuesday, so I try to stream every Tuesday and Thursday, but Thursday has been my definite consistent day of actually streaming. But Tuesday has always been kind of like hit or miss. So, yeah, so I will see you guys again. If not next Tuesday, then I will see you definitely on Thursday. But take care, have fun, and stay safe out there.